From Mortgage One Studios live with Russ Clark Show. What I've got because it's Thursday. Chris Larson's with me. Good morning.
I'm here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. But we brought guests in this morning.
I see
See
that.
you just walked in. You were surprised, like, wait a minute, there's someone else.
Well, I heard you talking as I was coming in. I was like,
Uh,
no, I'm on time today. He started early.
You are on time today.
Just barely.
Executive Director for YMPO, J.R. Aguilar. Good morning, sir. You got to get close to the mic. You got to eat it.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, because they're not set up as sensitive at all.
Good morning, everybody. Just to clarify that I'm Regional Mobility Manager. My Executive Director is Crystal Figueroa.
Well, that's all right. We're gonna promote you.
Thanks.
She's not listening right now.
Yeah, she's not up this early.
She might be.
We can do that, right? We can do that. What does YMPO do?
YMPO.
No, you got to get. I'm serious. You got to get
right.
close. I'm gonna tie your head in.
YMPO is the planning agency for Yuma County, predominantly Yuma region, so all of Yuma County. And so they do transportation planning to help out local municipalities to make.
And that includes roads and all that stuff.
Yes, includes all the roads.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a lot.
Oh, yeah. You're going to deal with engineers from the city, engineers from the state, engineers from the county.
Mhm.
Yes,
They all get together. I was actually the chair of that for a little while.
Yes, you were.
Oh, you researched.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. No, it's one of those things where we keep close knit with all the people that work for YMPO, and we really enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it was enjoyable to work with. I learned a lot, and it was great to see that cooperation and collaboration on how they all get together.
Yes. Our technical advisory committee and our executive board, they all work really well together to get the projects done for the county.
Yeah,
all the municipalities.
And those projects could be, bridges, widening of roads.
Yes, it can be all that.
All those kind of things, or just whining about the state stealing our money during all those years.
That happens too. Yes,
it did. When Napolitano left, the state was in horrible condition. They not only spent the money from the rainy day funds, they spent it to open up new programs that were continuing every year. So we went through a number of years where it was like selling the Capitol building to generate cash.
Really?
Oh gosh, yeah. And then leased it back. There was all kinds of games played just to pay the bills. And part of that was taking the gas money that went into roads and capturing it and saying, I'm sorry, counties, you're not getting any money.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I don't remember hearing any of this.
Just
wow.
Here's what I like about potholes, though.
Potholes are good.
During the day, I own a business that does car repair. We love doing front end stuff and front end alignments.
Mm-hmm.
We do front end alignments like crazy, and the front end work and tearing up tires. You guys are a business generator.
We do the best that we can. I tell you.
Well, and as a motorcycle rider, it's it gives you like a little slalom course down the road, so it's entertaining as well.
I like the entertaining.
Of course, nothing like being shaken awake, right?
Here we are picking on you. But and I know YMPO did, along with all the engineers and all that stuff, they do their best.
Yes, they do.
But a lot of things that were projects that were like, we're going to rip up a road, literally rip it up,
right,
grind it and put down new. Couldn't do it during those years. Couldn't do it. But they got creative, and they found there was some technologies out there did amazing to extend life that we really weren't using before. But now some of these roads, they could put products on it that seals it and protects it and can extend life dozens of years.
And I got to work with the city of Yuma and Yuma County doing some road repairs and stuff like that, and they do an amazing job. Creating their own asphalt, doing all this stuff to fix the roads. It's really, really awesome to see the technology goes into it.
Yeah, especially on the cut budgets and all that stuff, which really put us behind at the time. You don't have that problem now. You do get to, we're probably getting the allocations that were scheduled. Although it could be more. We fought that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Being human, we didn't have a lot of political clout.
Well, and you were talking about the technology and people making it work, and that's kind of what drives technology development. Is we've got this restriction, the higher ups, mess things up, and we have to find ways to make it work. And the people always make it work. I've said that so many times. No matter how much people up top screw things up, Everyone else gets the job done, and they find new technology. The people making the technology say, "Hey, these people need something.
We
Gonna."
did.
And
You're
it
right.
drives.
You're right. It did
drives
drive
it.
some innovation.
Yeah.
At the same time, we made it work by putting up with asphalt that had holes in it.
Yeah. Yes.
Which
We
opened
did.
up business
We did,
opportunities.
yeah, we got business
Yeah.
opportunities.
Our public works departments, man, they're amazing.
They do a great job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
they
that's
pull
at the
together.
county. I was more close to the county, obviously.
Yeah.
The county and all that, but watching what they did, that's hard work.
Yes, it is.
Big equipment.
Yes, it is.
I like equipment.
Well, and I like going down the road, and they have those machines that like scoop up all the old asphalt, put in a machine, grind it up, put
Right
it out
there.
the backside, and I'm like, that is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got to keep going, but that is cool. I love watching that kind of stuff. Happening right before your eyes. It's really
It's
fascinating.
it is amazing. It's amazingly expensive to put down a mile of road.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And we used to look at it like $1 million a mile or something.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what that number is, but I know it's
don't
expensive.
know. I don't know.
I know it's expensive. So
Well worth it though.
yes.
When you get a nice new road down, I love being the first one to drive down it.
Yes.
Just like, woo, it's so exciting.
Yes. Absolutely.
Anything specific you were going to cover today? Is there a program going on right now we need to know? I mean, we're not in the road repair season, are we?
Actually, no. It's coming. It's winding down. I think most of the time it's done here in Yuma towards the cooler weather. I think, but yeah, it's just hard to tell.
Yeah.
But no.
I was gonna, a lot of people complaining, why don't you do this during the summer when the snowbirds aren't here?
Yeah.
The temperature's too high.
Because
Yes.
It needs a certain temperature range
Yeah.
for everything to settle down the way it's supposed to. So
Yes.
yeah, there is an ideal temperature for all that. I don't know what it is, but it's not
winter.
120.
Yeah. It's winter is when
And not only that, but the asphalt's around 300 degrees when it comes out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's just they're sitting on top of 300 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're
Yeah,
sitting
and
there
those-
with a flag in your hand, making sure the cars don't get close.
Yeah, and those guys
Yeah.
do not get enough credit.
No.
No, they don't.
They are working their butts off
Yep.
out there.
Our public works crews, man.
They get enough water.
Shout out to
Right?
you guys.
I hope so.
Man,
No, yeah. So what I wanted to come here today, and thank you for letting me
get closer. Get
Yeah,
closer.
thank you for letting me be here today.
Good. Oh, we're glad to have you. We needed someone to pick on at 6 a.m.
I don't mind at all. No, but it's the YMPO travel training program. It's from us. It's for the 5310 program for our region. The 5310 program is for older adults and individuals with disabilities. It's a FTA. It's FTA funded program. It's a competitive grant. But as the MPO and the COG, we're designated to kind of oversee and manage some of the things for ADOT. And so one of the parts of my program, other than providing or making sure that our providers are in compliance, we're here to support them to make sure that their goals and their projects are meeting the needs of the community. And so one of the ways that we found this out was, I think through the COVID era, YCAT was predominantly doing the travel training. And since that happened, of course, the restrictions and everything stopped everybody from coming out and meeting each other. So that program kind of went at the wayside. So as the regional mobility manager for the region, I just felt that it was appropriate as part of my function anyways, to bring it back for Yuma County and for our residents.
You've said travel training a few
Yes.
times. I have no idea what that means. Are you training people to travel across the country or something?
Very good. Very good. Thank you for asking that. What we're doing is we're helping people get from A to B in our own community.
Okay.
So that's all over Yuma region. Our YCAT travels all the way from the southern border all the way to Welton on a regular basis. And travel training basically is, let's say, for example, if you're new to Yuma or if you've been here a long time, you don't have a car or you want to get around and you don't know how to, you see the bus and you're just like, hey, it might look a little too daunting, a little scary at the time. You can actually call the number that we have here on our flyers and on our websites. But it's to help get you from point A to point B without having to do it by yourself.
So telling people what resources are available for moving around
Yes.
the county.
Yes. And so we utilize YCAT a lot. And with partnering with YCAT, we're able to tailor each individual ride experience to the individual seeking training. So if, for example, if you're on Avenue B and you have barriers, let's say steps or stairs or curbs, whatever it is, and you have barriers to get to the bus stop in the first place, well, we're going to help remove those barriers for you and figure out the best way for you to get to the bus stop. Could it be curb to curb service that might be better for you? Or is it public transportation? We're going to figure those things out together.
Okay.
One of the best things too is that we do a little interview. I hear your concerns and what you would like to accomplish. And then I really go in on myself and I make sure that I can accomplish this to and from where you want to go. So if it was from Avenue B to AWC, for example, well, then I would make sure that I can get you on multiple routes and multiple options in case you happen to miss a bus or get on bus on time, because our buses are pretty much on time most of the time, unless it's a breakdown. So I'd rather have them be out there 5 minutes early, of course, waiting, ready, know how to signal the bus driver, when to wait, and all those different things. So we do go over.
Wait a minute. How do you signal a bus driver?
Basically, as you get to the bus, you get to the bus stop and you wave your hand.
You wave your hand.
Yes. Many times,
All 5 fingers.
all 5 fingers.
Okay.
No, many times as a bus driver myself, I was a driver for 10 years. It's definitely like you get close to the bus stop and you're on time. If you get on time to that bus stop and nobody signals you, and you're 30 seconds, you're going. Yeah. If you wait for the bus time to be there and you're coming out from the shade, we look, but if you don't signal,
so
we're gonna go.
So you're just looking at people's body movement. Like if somebody's standing up, like they see the bus, or even standing up, you would notice that.
Yes. Our bus drivers are definitely trained to notice people that are looking for our buses.
Okay.
You can definitely go down the street and see people that are just walking, but you definitely want to wait to see if they really need you, if they're close enough.
And that's important because some of those stops are just a little sticker on a lamppost.
Yes.
And somebody could just be hanging out by the lamppost.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like, but especially though in the summer, everybody's waiting in the shade or they're waiting in the store.
Right.
And so as a driver for Whitecat, we were always taught, hey, if you're on time, just give it a couple seconds, wait. You might see somebody coming out the door. And especially with Yuma, we do have watering stations around. So that's another thing that
I think you should shut down the buses during rush hour because I get behind one. I'm like, I'm trying to get home here.
I think if more people use the bus, we probably wouldn't have a rush hour.
Okay. There you go.
You're hurting.
No. But so the travel training program, though, it's something we brought back, and it's supposed to be kind of a one-on-one thing, but you can also do it with groups. And I think that's another benefit of it. If you have a group that would like to go out together and travel together, we can definitely make that happen for them.
Does that happen like out in the foothills with some of the RV parks and stuff?
It could definitely.
Okay.
It could. If somebody, especially they get down here in the group and like, hey, we want to use the bus. Let's say, for example, I'm not picking any favorites, but country roads, right?
Right. That's a big one.
Yes. Yeah. They have bus stops out in the front there. And especially with the future development of the multi-use pathway out there, that's going to be another good thing for them to help get them to connect them. And it's social engagement. It's also very important for our community.
Right.
Yeah. And I know it's used. I don't know how heavily. Didn't I read that there was a problem? Some people thought the fares were too high.
That's kind of always been a concern, but I think their fares have been consistent. And for what the service does, for an all-day pass is $5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then a discounted all-day pass, if you meet the qualifications, is $250.
For all day?
For all day.
Just if I wanted to start ride around, talk to a bus driver.
Yeah. And in the summer it does happen where you just want to get out of the heat for a little bit and just drive around. So it's definitely a good way to stay out of the heat if you can. But I do know that many people do use the service, especially coming from San Luis and to the college.
Now, if somebody wanted to know what the schedules are, I'm assuming it's available on your cell phone or. Do you have an app?
Yeah. So what we do is I guide everybody to the YCAT app. You can either search up ysipta.org or YCAT, and it'll all go to the page. And what they do there is they have all the routes available for you to look at. Not only are they there, sometimes that can be confusing too, because you're just looking at digits and numbers, and addresses. So what they do is they use a Google service on there that you can put origin to destination. You can put where you're at, put the bus stop. It'll give you the closest bus stop to you.
It'll help you route it.
Yes, it'll help you route to hone down.
Get off here and get on there, and that kind of stuff.
And it'll also give you routes that are closest to each other, like maybe a block around the corner. And I think as a travel trainer too, and as a former driver, those are the things that we kind of know. I'm not perfect, but I will look for those things. Hey, you might want to consider walking one more block, and you might get a faster time to where you're going, or you can wait a little bit longer and it's closer. And
there is a learning. When I've traveled to DC and used the subways and all that, they're different than they are in New York, and I could figure it out a little more quickly because I'm just used to a system. But if you haven't even looked at it, you'd be lost.
It's just a bunch of spaghetti, different,
it's
lines
going everywhere. Which way do I get on?
Yeah, and understanding the green routes that we have, they circulate the city in different directions, but they're all kind of going close to each other. So, like if you're circulating the city and you miss a bus stop, you can usually just go across the street and pick another one up to get you where you're going. But definitely knowing where the bus stops at, especially for you just using the system. Our riders now, they're great.
How many actual buses do we have?
Right now, I think it's over 30.
That many?
Yeah.
How many are on the road at one time? All of them? Or?
Oh well, not all of the
It's
routes.
impossible.
No, no, yeah. There's definitely buses that are on routes, but they have a lot of that are on backup, and they switch out sometimes during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also the cutaways. It's the bigger buses, the R-Box, the Gilligs. It's a different variety of buses that they have, and then they take into consideration how many people use those buses and the bus size that goes on those.
Yeah, and you do other. I mean, you'll do a special event type buses too.
You know, White Cat does really good about doing special events, and I know that especially for when they require maybe some tourism or whatever. Let's say for the Gary
Mayor's
Knight,
bike ride.
you know, Gary Knight, the Memorial Freeway,
Right.
or the Memorial Road. They actually they helped us to get our people that wanted to be there with Gary and Bonnie and them, got them to the location and supported us on that just by providing a trip. So White Cat can also do those things as well.
Yeah.
So they do help out a lot.
Hey, besides the YCAT, you mentioned something like curb to curb. You have other
Yes.
transportation options available?
Yes, we do.
What kind of things do you have there?
Okay, so in the 5310 community here, our providers, they range from, Saguaro, Achieve, Horizon, Hope. There's a lot of those ones that are in there, especially NAU, Senior Care Program. They're the volunteer service for us, RISE services, stuff like that. So a lot of them have client-only operations, and the 5310 program helps fund that for them to get transportation. But also, in those communities with the 5310, they also, Saguaro's open to general public. So the curb to curb thing is definitely a service type where they just pick up the passenger at the curb and then drop them off at the curb. But there's also door to door services. So the driver could help and get the passenger out
Wow.
from the vehicle, take them to their door.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And some of these sound like they'd be free of charge? Or?
Yes. And that's just the way the service is.
That's awesome.
Yes. Not only that, but then let's see, the NAU SCP, they do a volunteer service for our older adults. And they're volunteer drivers.
I'm an older adult.
Yes.
Do I qualify?
Yes, absolutely.
He didn't even check my ID.
Nope. no. If you're an older adult or an individual disability, and I think it's 65 is usually around
I qualify.
usually around that.
Yeah,
usually
you
around
messed
that.
it out.
But the curb to curb, door to door, knowing what that service is and how it can help you is better. But NAU, they actually go door through door to assist their passengers.
Well, there's a
or
lot of
their
people
riders.
that
Wow.
need assistance.
Yes.
That are not going to be able to walk a block to get to the
Yes.
stop and
Yeah.
all, and you accommodate that. That's
Yes.
great.
Yes. And,
That's
and we
awesome.
do. And, especially with my parents, as they're getting older now and figuring out the limitations that my mother has, especially with mobility, and trying to get her service to her house and just working through the process on that side is different than trying to manage and help our providers get to those riders that need the service. So I can see both ends of it. And especially working with the governor's office of youth, faith and family. We were out there at Country Roads the other day and we were talking about what are some of the areas that need help. And it is the transportation in Yuma. A lot of the time there's Altex. It's the Arizona Long-Term Care. They have a lot of services that require, or a lot of trips for their clients. And a lot of the time the services, they don't get met, or passengers are getting left behind, or something happens in their transportation. And if you're dealing with kidney dialysis, if you miss your
Right.
appointment,
Oh, wow.
That's a big deal.
it's a really big deal.
So the hospital destination is a frequent.
Yes, the hospital is a frequent destination. And Onvita, something we've been working with Onvita about, they're actually providing services for riders that don't have transportation at all or
That's
low
great.
income. They're offering that service for free to their Onvita patients and customers. I guess the ones that utilize the services, their cancer treatments.
Oh, they have their own buses or own
Yeah, that's
transportation
great.
stuff. That's great.
Yeah, and they're actually doing it on their own. We were working with them to try to get them involved to actually possibly receive another bus, as the Yuma Regional Medical Center was a nonprofit designation.
Mhm.
Something happened with the name change, but we're trying to work through that to get them another bus too, because they're offering that service completely for
Wait a
free.
minute, they're still they're not a
they're still a
nonprofit
nonprofit.
anymore. Just changing the name.
It was something with the status of that, and so we're working that with the state, but it is technical. Like you need to have your documents in order
Right.
in order to receive
Yeah.
funding, and they're not duplicating service because they're providing a service that's basically for free for their clients. So
Right.
but trying to figure out what the needs and gaps are. We have a regional coordination plan that we try to go off of, especially in the foothills. We lack service out there. There's some opportunities for micro transit in San Luis, and our short range transit plan that we're doing right now. We're actually going out for RFP. that is going to be something that we're looking at too for San Luis as a microtransit. It's a more dedicated transit system for San Luis.
And San Luis and Welton both.
Yeah,
A lot of windshield time to get there
Yeah.
back and
Yes.
forth. So
Yes.
so that's going to be a big deal to be able to incorporate those guys.
Yes. In Walton, we do have service out there twice a day. I don't know exactly what the schedule is, but I know they go out there in the morning. They bring people into Yuma,
Okay.
and then they take people back out to Walton. So depending on where you're at with that, and not only that, we do have a connector to Imperial Valley as well on the Turquoise route.
Imperial
Wow.
Valley.
Yes, and don't know what the schedule is exactly on that one, but we can get you to Imperial Valley as long as you follow the Turquoise route, and that's great for our residents here because I have family that comes from El Centro, and then utilizing.
And let me tell you, you go to the mall.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of people like that mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is all in addition to, Greyhound.
Yes.
So we have, you can get anywhere in the country then.
Yes.
When we connect all these different options.
Yes. And, I think one of the other things too, it would be a nice thing to see in Yuma is a connector between Yuma County and Maricopa, right there at Gila Bend, an exchange of sorts. And that would be something else to look forward to in the future.
Well, there are some private organizations that do airport.
Yes.
Yeah.
Airport shuttles.
Stuff like that, airport shuttles, which there's a need for.
Yes.
There is a need, but to get into Maricopa, where would you go?
It's
I mean, it's a big place. Well, you need to go to one of their hubs.
Yes, and we go to Dateland. We don't go to Dateland. No, we don't go to Dateland, but that's our furthest.
Nobody lives there.
No, there's some people that live out there, but
What?
but passing through there, even just to go through Dateland, even having to stop, and then maybe working with the next community to be like, hey, how can we make sure our transportation is affordable and getting our customers where they need to go?
So you guys are really working on expanding this to everything.
The ideas are there.
Foot to foot here
Yeah.
in Yuma and miles and miles away.
Tell me about ridership, and I know when it first started, I paid more attention. I was involved in it. I was engaged as a supervisor and all. I saw too many buses that were empty.
That unfortunately, that's one of the common things that we see there as a negative with transportation. Right. But I tell you what, even when they're empty, they were full at one time.
Okay.
And so the ridership, I know, and I don't want to give any wrong numbers with YSIPTA and YCAT, but they're doing a great job since COVID. I think the numbers are pretty much back from what they were.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same or if it's getting close to it, but yeah, the ridership.
I didn't even think about COVID. You couldn't run them during COVID.
They had limited services and they did create barriers.
Oh, wow.
Barriers to
6 foot apart on a bus. That's hard.
Our drivers were at risk a lot of the time for what it was. So they put barriers in between them, and it was limited services. They lost the travel training program. But they stayed around, and they still serviced, and we made sure our students got to AWC and all those things, and that the community kept flowing.
When I think of, the issue of ridership and its low population on the buses, it's a service I think is required.
Hold on, Carl.
Carl.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Are you done? Oh, let's take it. Hey, Carl, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm an old man, and I was around when everybody was talking about the bus service for Yuma.
Okay.
Some people said it would cost too much.
Yeah.
I said I thought it was a great thing. But now this gentleman's telling me all the great things that the bus service does. And then I'll give you an example. I see how well the hospitality tax works. It works good for Yuma.
Sure.
So now my question to this fine gentleman, how much does it cost we the people for what he's doing for our great city?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's public information. Do you know the number?
As far as what my job, or
no, just the total bill.
No.
I mean, the total cost of YMPO for the year. I don't know.
I don't know that number.
We'll get it for you, Carl. It is public information.
No, well, because I think the bus service it works good for Yuma.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was the man knows all of this stuff about going on with a bus, but he didn't know whether it's going to cost me or not.
Well, he knows it's going to cost you $5 for the whole day. But I know what you mean. You mean for the total bill for the taxpayer and all.
Yeah, well, for the taxpayer. How much does it actually cost us?
I'm curious myself,
the
Carl.
bus service.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
And I I think all those things are worked out with YSIPTA. They definitely have a number on what it costs to run
Yeah.
the system.
Yeah.
And I don't work for
Well-
YSIPTA. I work for YMPO, and I definitely don't want to answer for them. But I do know
Okay,
that
no.
I do know that there is a cost located to it, and they do go out for grants as well. The 5311 program, and they help get funding through that. So yes.
It's true. And what I'm saying, I've seen Yuma for a long time, and I do feel that the city tries to take very good care of their citizens.
Okay, the budget was 6.6 million to maintain services in 25. 3 million in local funding, and then utilize grants and other things on top of that.
Cool. So over half.
So about $3 million out of the local funding, 6.6 million total.
So over half of it is coming from grants and stuff.
Oh yeah, well that's
Wow.
always been that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that we the people are paying for half of the bus service, and government pays for the other half.
Yes, well,
Well,
we the people are government too, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, but grant money and stuff.
Okay, no, I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But I didn't realize that 30 buses they cover as much as they do. But it is a good service
Yeah, no,
for us.
Yeah.
And you know,
And I've never
well,
ridden
I-
it.
I-
But, you know,
no, I have never ridden a bus,
yeah.
but our city works a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
When we have the bus service.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost us any more than the hospitality tax. So, so to me, I think we the people, I'm not going to complain too much about having that bus city, because it works too good for everybody, and it works for we the people.
I see it out there all the
That's it.
time, man. So I know it's working.
Yeah,
All right. Appreciate
me
it.
too.
Appreciate the call.
But I would just want to know, you know, how far the hand was down in our cookie jar, and it's not too far.
It's getting the double chocolate chip cookies, I guarantee you. All right. We'll see you, buddy.
That's good.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mr. Carl.
Yeah, and that's right along the lines of where I was going. It's a service that we need.
Yes.
It's beneficial, even if people aren't using it. When industry comes into town looking for a place to set up shop,
Yes.
they say, "Oh, they've got a public transportation system. My workers are going to be able to get to
Good
and
point.
from work," and that is a benefit for the community, even if people aren't using the bus as much as maybe we would like.
Yeah.
I think it's still a beneficial service, and when we talk about 6 million, sounds like a lot of money. That's not a lot of money in the
Overall.
grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
If you're going all the way around the county,
Yeah.
that's
You couldn't
getting
even
spread
open up
out
a
quite bit.
daycare for that.
No, yes, maybe in Minnesota. But,
Oh.
yeah, but yeah, it sounds like a great deal,
Yeah.
and I'm glad to see you guys are utilizing it
Yeah.
to an extreme. You guys are finding new ways to increase our transportation options in the community.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. Yeah. Keep up the good work.
Well, the
there.
buses are there. You got to use them.
Well, and education, I'm an education guy, but you always got to educate the public about your product.
Yes.
So, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your job, but that's the way to increase usage is get more people on it.
The transportation hub that was downtown by the old hotel.
Yeah.
We still use that.
The one downtown, yes, is actually I think it's gonna get done here. I think this next year they're gonna start
I
construction.
don't believe it. It's been going to get done for 10 years, but I mean, that's not.
No, but it is in the works. They have
gonna
it
get-
already. They have
yeah.
They have talked about it in the technical advisory.
The
meetings.
Hotel del Sol.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be awesome, especially because I got to work there when it first started, and I got to see what it was. And just
What, on the inside?
no, like as far as on the outside, we're using the outside.
Yeah, I
There
know.
was no benches. There was
No.
nothing. People were just standing out there. And then now everybody knows that that's a downtown transfer hub. So why not use the building? Whether it was knocked down or revitalized or whatever.
I'd knock
Uh-huh.
it down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the best decision for that, but I do like when
Yeah.
I see older buildings reused and repurposed. But it's going to be a good thing for Yuma, especially with Greyhound and the train Amtrak right
So
across the way.
everything's going to be coming through there.
Yes.
It's going to be like a Grand Central Station.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Wow.
really nice.
Well, they've
That's
been
cool.
talking about that for 20 years.
Hmm.
It's just taken a while.
Yeah.
To,
And I
All good
figure out
things
what to
take
do.
some time.
yeah, transportation is one thing about it is you don't realize how good it is until you need it.
Yeah.
When you have your car taken away, your rights taken away, or you can't drive or don't want to drive. I definitely want to live in a community when I get older that has access to services like this
Right.
with public transportation. Maybe even more timely ones in the future as our population gets bigger.
Well, and that's just the density, you know, and you and I talked about the density a little bit about road tax and density.
Yeah.
We, you know, as a rural community, it's difficult because we're sparsely populated.
Yeah.
Same with the bus. We're sparsely populated.
Yeah.
Your bus can't pull up to a building that has 100,000 people in it.
Yeah.
When it's only 100,000 in the city.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Really close.
In the whole city.
Yeah.
So it's obviously a different deal than bigger cities, which concept of buses in bigger city make even more sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then the frequency is going to be every 15 minutes instead of every, 3 times a day.
And that's absolutely right. I think in the summer, it's really hard for a lot of our residents to be able to sit out there in the sun for 20, 30 minutes,
Yeah.
especially with no bus shade or shelter. So we do advise our riders in the summer to go, please sit on the shade. Our drivers, we're trained to look for the shade and to look for those things in the summer. So we
buy an umbrella.
Yeah, an umbrella definitely is the way.
And there are a few shades, bus stops.
Yes.
There's a couple of them, one out by Target.
Yep, and they're doing a really good job about it. Especially, we're looking at installing one. I think a new one here on was Avenue A and 16th Street.
There's one on 24th by the hospital.
Yep, and they look really good as they start to come in.
Yeah,
and those waiting for those bus stops has took a long time to get those things going too. Especially working with the city and to make sure all the code is right, the right amount of space, all those things like that. So,
well, yeah, you can't block the sidewalk.
No, yeah, you can't block the sidewalk. But it is a good thing for you, and I'm a big advocate for it. And I encourage, if you haven't rode a bus, to go ride one. Go check out what it is, because especially our council members and our politicians and stuff, please ride the bus system to figure out.
Chris, we need to go take a day pass and just ride the buses.
I was just thinking, just go around town, see what things are changing, because there's pathways that I take all the time, and that's what I know.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I'll go someplace that I don't usually go, and I'm like, oh, look, there's something happening here that I didn't even know about. So yeah, you get on the bus, travel, or ride around, just see what's happening in Yuma. I think is a good idea.
Yeah, especially when you kind of advocate for Yuma itself, teaching people how to use public transit, especially if they're not wanting to drive a lot. It's a good thing to know at least a little bit, to point them to YCAT.org.
It does look daunting if you not used to it.
Yes,
right.
Yes, it does.
You train people though.
Yeah, well, I try. It's one of those things. It's built for each person. So whatever your needs were, we can make it happen. Yeah. And I think one of the other good things that I wanted to talk about was starting this program up. We're able to go to some of the local high schools and actually help out their teams, provide information for travel training, and let them know that there's services out there for our students as well, and especially when they transition to becoming adults out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So let them know that those travel options are there for them and that they're safe and reliable, and that they can get from point A to point B. So those things are good too.
It's cheaper than a car.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
When you add up all the cost of vehicles, it's astounding how much cheaper it would be to take public transportation.
The only thing you really got to worry about is your schedule, your time schedule.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the driving's done for you. They take you from point A to point B. You know it. Let's get there.
You can watch a movie on your phone while you're traveling.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely. You mentioned road tax once, and I just want to mention that in the state of Arizona, our road tax is per gallon. I mean, that's where it comes from.
Yep.
And I think it's 19 cents a gallon on the state, and then the feds put in about the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what goes into it. California has 70 cents where we have 19.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is insane. I mean, that's why their gas is so high. But 19 has been the same price for many, many years.
I think it's been 30 years, I think.
Yeah. And then back then, 30 years ago,
19 cents was a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean 19 cents, and cars were burning more gas,
right?
More per gallon. They were collecting probably more money per car back then than they are now.
Yeah.
Because guys like Carl go out and get those cars, get 40 miles a gallon. How dare he?
Well, and then you got electric vehicles rising in popularity. So,
and the road repair and the road needs are actually going up.
We're gonna have to take a look at that.
Well, and do you know why it's not being looked at? It has to go through the legislature, and nobody wants to vote for it.
Right.
They don't want to vote for it because we got to get reelected.
Right.
If I vote for additional tax, I'm not going to get elected. And if the roads are bad, Russ will like me because he wants potholes.
Well, if the roads are bad, they're going to blame what was JR here?
Well, they can only
lack of funds.
They can only do the projects that are funded.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. if the projects aren't being brought up by the municipalities to get on the tip anyways, there's a certain way, especially if you want funding from the government, they come into you put it into the tip, the transportation improvement program. Those projects get selected and then go to the state transportation improvement program.
Right.
So there's definitely a process for that. But if we had more money here in the county or in the cities, they would have more road construction that they could do on their own.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of waiting for these grant opportunities.
Right. And Maricopa and Tucson, they actually have their own taxation fund for the roads on top of the state and funds, which we never did. You know, we talked about it at times, but again, politicians want to get reelected.
Right. Well, the surest way to tell people how important all this is, you know, and I've mentioned it before, going through the Phoenix area, you'll go, you know, transition from one town to another without realizing until you notice, oh, this road is terrible. That other town, they kept their road up. This road is terrible. And then you go into the next town when you realize, oh, this road is nice again. When you have a bad road, it stands out. You take notice. So you know,
it does.
And more people get on those bad roads. They're like, oh, we need to do something about this. And unfortunately, that's how, you know, reasonable taxes do happen when people are like, wow, we really need to do something about this.
I think taxpayers get offended because money goes into the wrong areas. It should be going to the roads.
Yeah.
And
like you were talking under Napolitano, the money was going all over the place.
Gosh, we did. Yeah, that was that put us into debt for quite a while, and it took a couple governors after that to get the budget back and to get a rainy day fund built again.
Well, it's a once bitten, twice shy situation. The taxpayers are like, no, you wasted our money all this time. It's going to take some time for people to trust the government again to use their money properly.
Don't ever trust them, Chris.
Yeah, no trust. Well, that's why we keep an eye on them. Yeah. That's why we're involved in the politics.
Yeah, we need to look at them all the time.
There's some taxes that have to happen. You know, the whole point of taxes is to pay for services.
But as a taxpayer, we get offended, and when we see what's going on in Minnesota, what's going on in California, and all the fraud and all that, and our tax dollars are being sucked dry, we get offended. We don't want to pay anymore, and then that hurts the good projects too.
And that
I know.
Puts it harder on JR to find a way to make things work.
You know,
less money.
And I think that goes back to our local MPOs and COGs too around the city or around the state, is that we do the best that we can with the money that we're given.
Right.
And we try really, really hard to work with all the municipalities to make sure their projects get in there and that they're being addressed. But like you guys see around the town, as soon as it rains, all the potholes come back.
But it's a political thing too, JR. And you know, we didn't always have an administrator at YMPO that was good at the lobbying at the Maricopa level to get the funds that we should have gotten. And of course, we made changes there, and we were able to get someone in that had experience at that level, and able to capture more funds that we should have had in the first place.
Yes,
it's a political game. It's a who you know game at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need to be cognizant of it, particularly when we're running those operations.
Yeah.
I mean, politics is a contact sport.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And to get yourself funded and to get that stuff done, you need to be vocal. You need to have connections. You need to know how to get it done. And Yuma, and I don't know how we're doing today. I'm assuming well, but I know for when I first got on that board, we weren't, and we made adjustments, and we got a guy in that knew the language to get the funding.
Yeah.
As well as coordinate everything else.
You know, that matters too, you know, and how much local support do you have, and who's leading the team, who's leading the effort, who knows the ins and outs, because if you don't know, you're not going to know. And so the politics, there's definitely a lot in it. And I just hope that eventually our census, we get a good count on our census, the next 2030 that's coming up. Yeah. I know we have our American Community Surveys that come out all the time, but the big census is coming up here in the 2030, and that's going to count for a lot of money.
Money's allocated based on population.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you don't have the population, their funds will get cut.
Yes. And that's something that we need to look forward to, the big push, the census. Don't be afraid of going out there and counting yourself and your family.
I'm too old to have more kids before then. So you need to look at that, Chris.
You know, if pugs counted, to have two more. So.
Two more? Yeah. If they did. Yeah, we can't count them, though.
I got a couple kids. We've been talking to them.
Yeah, make sure they're residents. You count those guys and all that kind of stuff. Did we cover it all, JR?
Yeah, and I think that's it. And I appreciate you guys letting me come out here to advocate for transportation in our community.
Because you stick around much longer, we start pounding on you.
No, I definitely don't mind, man.
But you're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
Just let us know. We'd like to know what's going on in the community.
Thank you.
We'd like to know what you guys are working.
In our we do have an amazing senior planner, Fernando Villegas, and Jeff Heinrichs, our amazing team, Lulu and Lucia, Crystal Figueroa. She leads a great team for us, and I know that we're all willing to be here and do the best for the region. So we're here. We're here to stay. Let us know. Give us a call if we can help with anything. And if you have any more questions, please let us know.
Oh, I got your number.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man. Take care, buddy. Oh, Chris, you learned more about buses that you didn't know?
Yeah. I didn't even know this YMPO existed. That's fantastic.
You didn't know that?
No. Why would I know that?
Oh, I don't know. I was chairman of it for a couple of years.
I heard that.
Yeah. But
well, you know everything. So.
No. I have a rudimentary knowledge of a few things, and I make it sound like it's a big deal.
Trying to figure out all this and just learn it all at the same time, and to be like, hey, I'm passionate about it. Now I just got to have my knowledge come from behind and be like, okay, the tax number, what do we spend per person, those things like that. But this is a good opportunity for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Take care, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And these are for you guys if you want to share them or pass them out or whatever. It's okay.
All right, cool.
We'll take care of it. And he'll go back and then all his bosses will be listening to this and they're going to critique him now.
Yeah.
He's got great pressure. Got great pressure. Never go see that Russ guy again.
Yeah. No, he did a great job.
He did.
He educated us.
He did a nice job.
He informed about all kinds of things we didn't even ask about.
He was unafraid.
No. Why would he be? He's doing a good job.
It's a big deal to have to come into a place like this and to start doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
takes courage.
First thing in the morning, you had to get up early.
He volunteered for first thing in the morning.
Really?
I think it was one of those things. Let's get it over with. I don't blame him.
Well, he's got his whole day ahead of him. He didn't want to interrupt his flow.
I think he did well. He'll have a good day.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he got the message out he wanted to, and he represented the company well.
Yes, he did.
If
they are listening, give him a raise.
Give him a bus pass.
Just as valuable.
That's what he needs, a bus pass. And get out there. I still have never ridden it.
No, I haven't either. But
I support it. I like it.
Well, like you said, there's times when things happen and you need an option that you didn't need before. And I've been in situations I'm like, what am I going to do? And then I look around and I can jump on this bus here. In Germany, we were on public transportation all the time. They do that constantly. But
when I go to New York City or DC,
the subway,
all the time, jump on them.
Yep.
Although I've been to New York City now, maybe 10 years. I don't know how I'd feel about it now. From what
I've been there for 3-4 years ago, and I felt comfortable.
Did you?
I was okay.
But all things I read, and since
well, when you read, you get the story of the terrible thing that happened here, or a terrible thing that happened there. But there are millions of people that go through the bus. But
specifically the subway. The subways, when I I grew up in Delaware, and we're 3 hours out of New York City. So, but we'd go there for high school field trips,
right?
To see a play on Broadway for a high school field trip, which was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But we were always cautioned how dangerous. Don't get separated. Don't go where you're not supposed to go.
That's true. Yeah.
And that danger went away under Giuliani.
Did it?
Yeah, we could ride the subways. Everything was good again. I don't know how it is now.
Yeah, with Mamdani, it'd be interesting.
Woo. Yeah, I don't even look like a socialist, so I'd be in trouble wearing my Trump hat and all that stuff.
Yeah, that might be an issue. Yeah,
that could be trouble.
Well, give it a couple years, people might, under his leadership, people might start appreciating a Trump hat a little bit more than
maybe. And I did enjoy New York. I enjoyed going.
Oh yeah, New York is fascinating.
Yeah,
I love
fun.
I love going to New York.
And DC, two of my favorite.
I don't want to say it, but I love New York.
You love New York? There's a shirt. You can get a shirt.
I did.
It says
I've
that.
Got it.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
How are we doing on the Iranian war? What do you think? Is it a war?
Well, technically no, because Congress didn't declare war. It's they always have different words. Like Vietnam was a police action or something.
Military exercise.
Yeah, or an excursion. Like Trump.
Actually, Trump did come out and mention that. He says, "I'm going to stop using the name war because you're supposed to vote on that. So we're going to call it something else. I forget what he calls it, but
and I've got mixed feelings about it. I don't like bombing campaigns because it doesn't discriminate who it kills.
I don't think he says bombing campaign. I think he says we're going to bomb the crap out of them.
Right.
It's a bomb the crap out of them campaign.
Yeah, that's what he's calling it.
Yeah.
In general, it's a bombing campaign, and that doesn't discriminate. Civilians and military get killed.
I beg to differ.
A bomb doesn't know the difference.
Of course, it doesn't.
No,
but the person that places the bomb,
but when the bomb hits, it shakes everything around, and other buildings go down, and other people are
you collateral type damage. But
there's a lot more collateral damage with bombing.
Not really. Let me see. I got a great story here on that.
But now we're talking about ground troops too. It's possibly going in. It's
who knows how much that's going to be. That's going to be, I would imagine, limited.
You would hope,
to certain areas. I don't think they're going to try. That place is twice the size of Texas.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
They're not going to try to.
And most
door
of it
to
is
door.
empty. So
the whole thing is going to be different. I don't know where my story is.
But there's people are still questioning why we went in the first place, and
and some of that's a political.
I don't want us to be a global police force. I don't think that's appropriate. I think that we were concerned about their nuclear proliferation, so that was a concern.
I think it was more than a concern.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue. I don't have enough details to really jump on one side or the other, but I'm concerned. Any kind of violent conflict should raise people's concerns.
Of course, we should all be concerned, and we should all be looking for rapid completion. Let's get it done.
Complete war, total war.
Rather than trying to block it or stand in the way of it, just get it over.
Stop it.
Like, what's your mission? What's accomplished, and when is the job done?
Yeah.
Not like Vietnam.
Right.
It was a never ending.
But in every conflict we've ever had, it's when we said, all right, we're opening up the doors. We're let the dogs loose. We're sending everything in. We're finishing it now. Has always been our best outcome.
Well,
when we've tried to nickel and dime it, things just went bad.
The Venezuela war lasted like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Let me go through this.
Find your story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's an AI story. It's a Plantar executive that talks about it. Sham Sankar. He's a CTO of Plantar, and he says the U.S. and its allies to be able to carry out their military operations faster, more efficiently than ever is enabled by the AI-powered battlefield technology, which I guess we probably know that. We don't think about it,
right?
But this CTO says, how do you plan 2,000 strikes in 48 hours? Which is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially the complexities of that.
Yeah.
I mean, when those aircrafts go to do a strike, I mean, you're talking about refueling and takeoff, landing, all that kind of stuff, and all the coordination from two different countries on who's going to do what, so we don't run into each other. But it's a sophistication of technology combined with the service members who are better than we deserve. It's proven a deterrent capability. The Trump administration was carried out by. Let me see. The Trump administration said the strike was carried out by Iranian forces, but a Department of War investigation into the incidents going on. Oh, that's the one of the killing of 100 civilians.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was put here. Like, look, there was 100 civilians that were killed, and which was a big headline, big deal for the people that are going to look at this as like, we should have never done this. They still haven't decided exactly what happened. But I'm sure we can, and they probably know. They're not telling us at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was one that was bad. And what this guy says is, Sankar says, we forget that in World War II, only 6% of bombs dropped actually hit their target.
Right. Yeah.
There were 50,000 French civilians that were killed in prep fires for Normandy, just to soften the ground for Normandy to go after. 50,000 civilians in France were killed. The investigation will show that actually the incorporation of more sophisticated technologies prevents this kind of collateral damage. AI-enabled systems allow military planners to quickly develop and refine operations, increasing the speed, efficiency of modern combat. And you see the pictures on TV where you say, okay, this is the building where they're making the bombs, making the things, and the whole building's destroyed, but nothing around it.
Right.
If you watch World War II, that was a carpet bomb that covered miles to the.
And it might miss the 110.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. We didn't have this technology. The collateral damage has been greatly reduced.
Exactly.
If we wanted to kill civilians, we'd have to do it on purpose almost.
Yeah.
Other than this 100 now. Don't get me wrong. Inside those buildings, who knows who's in there?
Right.
We don't know.
I absolutely agree. And I was thinking about this the other day. The human loss in wars has actually been declining.
Oh yeah.
Over time, even among the military members. Certainly, collateral damage with civilians has been greatly reduced with the technology and the way to target things. Giving advance notice to communities. We're going to bomb this bridge at such and such time. Block it off. Make sure there's no people on it. We just want to hit the infrastructure. We don't want to kill the people. There's things that we have done over time to reduce the specifically collateral damage, but even military members. The Civil War was huge numbers,
right?
And World War II was big numbers, but it was global. But
civilians, the civilians that died were massive.
Yeah, the number of deaths is
but now it's
reduced. Yeah,
it's more targets, more isolated. It was Barry Todd was in here yesterday talking about it and brought something to mind that you're going to lose people and more people are going to die, including our own.
Yeah,
and we're going to lose them. But he said something to the effect that we've had like during Iraq. We had more military members dying in car accidents in the United States than what died in Iraq.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
military members dying in car accidents.
Yeah,
not in battle. Right. In Iraq, and like the last 18 months in Iraq, we didn't lose anybody.
Right.
Until Biden decided to evacuate, and 13 died on the tarmac.
Yeah, and that's another thing that comes up is American losses because of our training and our technology are significantly.
We don't even feel connected to it.
Losses. Yeah.
And you're looking at the military in the United States. We only have like less than 1% that join the military.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, small group. This guy goes on to say that there were AI-enabled systems allow military planners to quickly develop, refine operations, increase both speed and efficiency of modern combat. But you can imagine during World War II, if only 6% of the bombs. I mean, how many bombs did you have to make? Now, and I remember I took a tour of a missile destroyer. Gosh, 10 years ago, maybe. And I asked the captain, I said, you got a 5-inch gun out there. It's just not as impressive in World War II when you had like 20, 15-inch guns.
Mm-hmm.
He says, we don't need them.
Right.
This gun never misses.
Right.
It actually hits everything we want it to hit. And it fires a shot every 3.5 seconds.
Wow.
So it's all we need.
And
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And what's crazy is people try to start stuff with us. Do you see what we can do?
Well,
we got to remind people every once in a while, stop it.
I said on that destroyer, and I forget, it's like 500 foot long. It's a big ship. But the ship's rocking out. We were out at sea, and the ship's rocking, but the barrel's stationary in space.
Oh, really?
And the barrel stays exactly the same plane. It's always, the boat goes up and down, the barrel stays right where it was. It moves to stay exactly where it was. It doesn't
gyroscope or something keeping it steady.
That's computers and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So that if they point the barrel at something, it's not going to move. And I don't care where the boat goes. The barrel's going to stay pointed.
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
And he said that they can actually hit, if an aircraft's flying through the sky at 500 miles an hour, the computers calculate it where it's going to be, and we could shoot down a plane with a single shot.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, he told me that. I don't know if that's actually done.
Incredible.
I mean, it doesn't seem like an anti-aircraft thing,
Right.
but he says that's absolutely they can do that.
Well, yeah, and we see in the World War II movies where they just blanket the sky with
Shrapnel.
explosives,
Yeah.
The flak, and the planes are hoping they get through it. You couldn't hope anymore.
No, this thing's not going to miss.
Yeah, it's there's not going to be a bunch of bombs around you going off. It's going to be the one that hits you.
Because it's not a couple guys with slide rules. I mean, there's a computer that works a little faster. This AI stuff.
And the AI makes sense. Yeah, when we were talking to JR here, and he was talking about coordinating all the different options here in Yuma, I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of coordination. Can you imagine putting together all the different operations involved in a combat situation, and multiple combat situations happening all at one time, all over the place? I don't think a human could do that. I think it has to be an AI.
It's way too much, and that's why World War II, particularly, I mean, they had to take out targets. They just blanket entire areas, civilians, everything.
Yeah.
Of course, in right now in Iran, we're being careful not to include civilians.
Right.
Where Iran is purposely attacking civilian targets, high-rise buildings, and stuff, for terror reasons, to tell everybody to stop.
Right.
We will punish your civilians and it's your fault.
Well, and not just by killing the civilians directly with the bombs, but then having an impact on everybody's energy usage by
that's intentional. They know it's going to be a world pain.
They're trying to cause pain.
And you'll learn to let Iran do whatever it wants to do, and don't mess with us.
Yeah, we'll
punish the world.
And who knows who's in charge these days, but I saw a quick video of one of their military leaders saying, we are not going to back down until we get exactly what we want, and yada, yada, yada. And we're going to harm everybody that we can. And they're just flat out saying, we don't care about anybody.
They know our history. They know our government, and they know that we're going to have protesters in the street.
Yep.
And they know that there's going to be people screaming we shouldn't do it, and that the poor Iranians leave the government alone.
I don't know. I haven't heard anyone saying poor Iranians. It's just we got to do it for the right reasons in the right way, and people disagree about that. But I don't know of anyone that's backing the Iranians.
I could send you articles of mainstream press talking about how wonderful the Ayatollah was.
No.
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous what's going on. The misinformation and the crap that's going on out there.
That they have been the model of terrible government for decades.
47 years they've been attacking us. They've been killing Americans for 47 years.
Yeah. Well, they've been killing their own. If a woman doesn't have a headscarf on, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
It's just that's just what we know about. They've got other things, especially to women, that they do to women, that is just disgusting.
Well, and just before this broke out, before Trump went in there, they killed almost 40,000 of their own because they protested, say we don't like the government.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I can't imagine.
And then we got protesters in this country screaming that it's terrible that we targeted Ayatollah and all that kind of stuff. They just don't get it.
Yeah. Well, as a general rule, you don't want to target the leadership, because then they might target our leadership, and nobody wants to be the target.
They've been trying to kill Trump for years.
Yeah, that's the efficient way to do things. Is
we never had the technology like we do now.
Right. Yeah,
we do have it, and Trump isn't tying his hands behind his back. He's using everything he's got.
Right. I've got questions about why we went in and how we're doing it, but I have no doubt something needed to be done. I would never suggest that Iran is the victim here.
Here's some of the explanation I heard. I don't know if it was Glenn Beck or something, but some people that actually have some relationships with those who know. There's been a lot of stories out there about Trump being a pawn of Israel. He's only doing it because Israel tells him what to do.
Did you hear it in Yahoo? Can you imagine trying to tell Trump what to do?
Yeah, and there's some that we're so pro-Jewish state that and none of that's true. It's true that they're an ally, and it's true that, and they have been for years. Here's what Glenn Beck, I think it was Glenn Beck, forgive me if I'm wrong, I got the wrong one, but said that meetings with Netanyahu and all that, they saw how close that they were ready to attack Israel and kill him. He says, keep in mind, Israel is fighting for his life every day.
Right.
I mean, we said over here in America, we said, well, it's not bothering us.
Right.
They're not going to bother. Well, they will, because it's death to America every day.
Yeah.
You know, but they got to take steps to get here.
Well, aren't they launching drones in the Pacific or something like that on our West Coast? I heard something about that.
Oh, in the United States?
Yeah.
No, I don't know of any. Maybe, but I haven't heard.
Might have been a fake news AI story.
You could be. There's definitely launching drones on American assets in the Middle East.
Oh, that might be it.
Yeah, they've done that. And that's how we lost some of our military members. Well, those were the first casualties of a war for us. Was
some of our European allies that said no, we're not going to be involved in this. When Iran hit some of the other areas in the Middle East, they looked at the distance that their missiles went, and they're like, "Hey, we're within that distance."
They are.
They're like,
oh, you're right.
They could hit us directly, and that
and they don't get involved.
People didn't know that.
They think they're safe, and they're not.
Yeah.
And these guys have much more capability than we even knew.
Yeah, Iran has been working on.
But
ways to kill people
Israel
for a
sat
while.
down with Trump, according to this story, if it's true, and I believe it. And they said, look, we know how close they are to getting it. They're going to attack us.
Mm-hmm.
And their intelligence is better than ours, probably.
Yeah.
And are going to attack us. We're going to attack them first. Now, Trump knows and we know that if Israel does that, they're going to attack American assets no matter what.
Right.
They'll do that because we got a lot of assets in the area, a lot of air bases in the area, and Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Turkey, all over the place, and which they've done.
Yeah.
And Netanyahu, I guess, said we're going to attack, and that's going to cause a retaliation, and you're going to get involved in it. So Trump and all that said, we're with you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll because we want to mitigate their ability to kill us.
Right.
It's because that's imminent. It's coming. And Israel told him it's coming. Look, we're fighting for our lives. We can't let it happen. We won't exist as a country if Iran isn't stopped now.
Right.
I mean, the nuclear's gone, but the capability of their missile system has become so great and everything that we got to shut it down. And they've done this before. I mean, they attacked Iran years ago on their first attempt at nuclear weapons. They've done Syria the same way and all that because they're a small little country.
Yeah.
And
Surrounded
everyone
by
around them
people
wants
that
to
hates
kill
them. Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They all want to kill them. And for them to survive, this is complete survival. It's not survival for us. We feel like we're unapproachable.
Right.
But we're not.
It is helpful to have an ocean on either side.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we still have to worry
yeah.
about Canada and Mexico and invading us. But the reason that they went in, according to Beck, was Israel was going with or without us,
right?
Which they've done before.
Yeah,
and that will cause retaliation in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well. I mean, we're going to have to go in eventually, and we might as well do it now. Let's get it done.
And the evidence of that is, now that we have kicked up the dust here, Iran is targeting all kinds of people besides just the United States and Israel.
From Turkey, Qatar.
They're taking the opportunity to hit everybody they've always wanted to hit.
Yeah.
And so it adds credence to the idea that if Israel started something, it was going to hit everybody. So and that's part of the conversation that about why we went in, and there's pros and cons. There's reasons to justify it. There's reasons to question it. I'm not sure that we're getting as good a conversation as we could have. There's a lot of people screaming on one side and the other, and it's hard to hear the truth. And then when Trump's administration initially had different statements, I think that could have been done better. Here's the statement that we're putting out. Everybody put out the same words and say the same thing. Well, I think that would have helped.
And by us joining in the attack, and with all the technology we have now, we destroyed. This article says 90% of the projectiles coming out in the air. 90%, because we had places in place. We were prepared. We were ready for it. and 90%, and granted, the 10% did damage,
Right.
And all that. But then we also destroyed 80-90% of their abilities by now, and as well as drone manufacturing, missile manufacturing, all that. And they're still acting like a Monty Python movies, and I'm not hurt; it's just a scratch, you know, because they're religious zealots.
Yeah.
They're not going to be stopped by death, destruction. Nothing. I don't know what stops it. I don't know.
It has to be the people rising up and taking advantage of the situation. And that's the other question: is what were the people unified enough to be able to do that? Are they ready to make this changes in their country that need to happen, or are they still so fractured that it's just going to be an internal struggle figuring out who takes power?
You know, it's tough when you have such a brutal a dictator like this in Iran that knows that they're on power because they're brutal. They're in power because they have such a strong arm.
Yeah,
they will annihilate competitors.
Yeah,
they'll shoot 40,000 people that protest,
and they know that they can get away with it.
Well, of course, they're the law. Yeah. You know, they're going to do it. So it's tough to stand up against that.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got to feel secure enough that we're going to knock down the military. And I don't think it's enough yet. I don't know what it is.
Well, here in the United States, we didn't have the dictator right over our head. We had, there were troops and stuff, but we spread. We got together behind one idea first, and then we took action. France helped us out, fight off the English, for their own purposes, obviously. But we had a unified idea first before we rose up. Whereas over, now in Iran, there's an opportunity for them to rise up, but are they unified?
How can you be? Because if you whispered to a neighbor that you were going to do it, the neighbor turns you in, you're dead.
Yeah. So that's the concern.
That's the way they take control.
Yeah.
I got a couple notes from Edward. One, they no longer sell "I Love New York" T-shirts.
Really?
They updated it. It says, "I survived New York City, the city that never sleeps." I think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not pretty there, probably.
Yeah, my last I Heart New York shirt had a blue heart because it was from the 9/11 memorial. So it had
that was a bad thing.
Yeah, it was.
That was terrible. He's also printed up some shirts that says Garrity for mayor of Yuma. He's thinking about running for. He's going to run for mayor.
Garrity.
Edward Garrity, my fact checker.
Oh, that's him. Okay, yeah. I've never heard his last name before. It's always been Edward.
And it says Garrity for Yuma, mayor. Garrity for mayor of Yuma, promising everything, guaranteeing nothing. I don't know if that'll win. You think that's a win?
He's got to live here first.
Guaranteeing nothing. I like it. Garrity for mayor of Yuma, tax the rich. Rich is definitely by anyone with a job, defined by anyone with a job. Great. He did send me a serious news alert. Transgender women athletes banned from Olympics by new IOC policy on female eligibility. Good for them.
Oh, interesting. Because prior to this, it's always been the sport leadership that makes those decisions. So now the whole Olympic Committee is saying,
interesting. Transgender women athletes are now excluded from the Olympics after the IOC agreed to a new eligibility policy. It's a shame we have to have that policy.
Yeah.
Nobody would have thought that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
On Thursday, which aligns with U.S. President Donald Trump's executive order on women's sports ahead of the 2028 Los Angeles Games. Eligibility for any female category event at the Olympic Games or any other IOC event, including individual and team sports, is now limited to biological females. The International Olympic Committee said determined on the basis of one-time SYR gene screening, the gene screening. It is unclear how many, if any, transgender women are competing at an Olympic level. No woman who transitioned from being born male competed in the 24 Summer Paris Games. The DNC is calling the United States to reject the games and pull out of hosting.
Of course.
Yeah. That's so they support all the 20%, 10% popularity programs.
Well, and I question whether those percentages are
they really
high as they say. Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Well, they're not winning with the reasonable people, so they have to support the unreasonable people.
I guess they know their base.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. One of my listeners says Great Britain is asking for the unredacted Epstein files to investigate British citizens involved with Epstein's sex trafficking ring. Wonder how Bondi and Patel will respond. You know, it's amazing. So much pressure to release with Epstein, which he's been doing rapidly. Of course, it takes time to redact it all.
Right.
But nobody pushed Biden.
Yeah.
Nobody pushed Obama. All of a sudden, it's all Trump's fault.
Well, and you know, now that you mentioned that, you know, it was just an America thing, you know, for a while, and now all these other countries are getting involved. Why weren't they involved? You know, they didn't care, Biden, Trump, you know, Democrat, Republican. Why weren't they involved before? Is it just now because, you know, some of the leaks have identified some of their people too that are questionable?
Yeah.
That's interesting to question that.
Well, if Trump was in it, you know, like they say, he was mentioned many times.
He's mentioned, yeah.
So what? He was mentioned that that Epstein hated him.
Well, there's a comedian that I see. He's very liberal, but he's funny. So I listen. His parents are in it, and they're just they were like caterers or something.
Yeah,
and so they were in an email about an event.
Yeah.
But they were mentioned. There's all kinds of people that are mentioned.
Yeah, but were they mentioned as having, you know, something illegal going on with underage women? You know?
So if Trump was identified as doing anything inappropriate,
it would have been.
It would have come. Nobody would have. You know, the Biden administration would have been plastering the country with these.
It'd been on every newspaper.
Yeah. So I don't think.
I don't
any of that is.
I'm all for releasing everything, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good.
Well, and they redact it to protect people that, you know, whose identities should.
But of course, that makes them say, well, they're redacting it to help Trump or something. No, I don't believe that.
Because
Biden would have released it. Obama would have released it.
Yeah, they had the files. They would have released them.
At least released his
at least, out of the millions and millions of documents, they would, you know, well, these three show Trump did the problem. You know, they wouldn't have released anything else, maybe, but they would have released anything that showed Trump was an issue.
He said, this same listener said, I thought the missile attack on Iran last year had done the job. It did do the job. The job that was of that particular job.
Yeah.
It did blow up the Iranian stuff, the missile making. It did take that.
It was the uranium
enrichment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was under many feet of rock and concrete.
Those bombs are amazing.
Yeah, and now I've heard that the uranium is still there.
Right.
It'd be hard to get to, but it is. But Trump says he wants it back. You know, we'll go in and get it. I mean, that would take a heck of a job.
Yeah.
To go and get that, but it could be done. And apparently there's, I guess, satellites that show they were trying to redo the area, or they're working in the area trying to get it and all that. And he says, and we don't have religious zealots, you know. Yeah, we got Mandani.
we got a few. Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't think any that are going to destroy a country.
No,
or none of that stuff, or killing protesters or anything, to my knowledge. If there is, let's out them. I don't care. Tanya Wright sends me coffee in Danish with Paul Gosar, you know, our Arizona congressman. Yeah. 9 to 11.
Is that today?
No, March 31st.
Okay, I was going to say. I didn't think
so days to 26. Yeah, what is it?
Tuesday, I think. It's Tuesday. Tuesday next week. Paul Gosar.
Yeah, it is Tuesday next week. But you get donuts.
Ooh.
And Gosar.
I like the apple fritters myself.
You got RSVP though.
Where's he going to be at?
I think it's going to be at the office there. Yeah, GOP office on 255 West 24th Street. Limited room.
Yeah, it's not a big building to begin with, and our offices are a little smaller than.
Yeah. And the phone number to RSVP is 775-253-4554. I'll repeat that for you looking for a crayon. 775-253-4554.
Now the size of the Republican office does encourage socializing.
Yeah,
because you don't have a lot of space to get away from other people. So it should be a nice time. Get to hear, go start talking about what he's doing, what he wants to do, and interact with other people. It should be a good event.
Edward writes here, the issue about the Epstein files being released is that the grand jury testimony by law is not to be released, and that is law.
Right.
And I know a lot of people have been asking for it.
Right.
I think from the Democrat side. I don't think from the Republican side.
Oh, I'm sure there's some.
But that would cause problems for the people that are on a grand jury.
Right.
He said this is to protect those who have information but fear being attacked if they speak out. Congress passed a law to release those files. I don't know if they can do that retroactively or not. I don't know. Making a precedent for it in the future. So don't go to a grand jury. How many people will get involved now and will simply say nothing? Right. That's the danger.
Yeah.
You took away
there's bigger issues.
You took away that protection. Like go ahead and tell the truth because nobody can get to you. This is sealed. No one will see it. So tell the truth.
Right.
I plead the fifth.
Well, and that's true of any time people are frustrated with the legal situation, our legal system, and they're like, "Well, just do this because in this situation it would be better." But it's not this situation that ultimately matters. It's the system and working it properly and having people feeling free to speak the truth on the stand.
Yeah,
that is more valuable than any one moment in our history. So,
listener wrote, not sure if this is true, but read that the British intelligence had identified Epstein as an Israel asset. There should be no dual citizenship. And I've heard those same stories that he was some kind of spook or something for intelligence officers. But I don't know if that's rumor, true. Who knows? That Epstein was working for a government.
Epstein was. Huh. That would be interesting.
Working for Israel.
Yeah. I
don't know.
Trying to gather information on it.
I don't know. I don't even know if that's true. That's been out there for a while. But I thought I'd also read that he was somebody recommended that he was working for the federal government too. Ours. I don't know. Some kind of informant or something. I don't know.
I doubt.
I'm not an expert on Epstein.
Yeah, I don't think that's a legit thing.
This article that talks about Iranian missiles being intercepted says no more than 90% have been intercepted during the war, which is an amazing number.
Well, we were talking last week about how many missiles it takes to shoot down a missile, and we need to make sure that we don't run out. But
that's what
they're doing a great
that's what
job.
This article is about, actually. And that 90% is according to the Jewish Institute for National Security of America. They highlight that Iran's least expensive weapons are proving the most disruptive and are draining costly U.S. and Israel interceptors. See, those interceptors can be 1 to 6 million, depending on which one they're using, and the drone can be 30 grand. It's be like the price of a Toyota coming at you, and you got to put $1 million missile up. The current air defense structure integrating with the U.S. Israel Arab systems is proving highly effective at stopping incoming threats. Early warning systems, shared radar coverage, pre-positioned assets have allowed multiple countries to work together to defeat Iranian missiles and drones. According to Carolyn Levitt, more than 9,000 enemy targets have been struck to date, meaning we've struck 9,000 targets in Iran. Iran's ballistic missile attacks and drone attacks are down by roughly 90%. That means them leaving. We're shooting down 90% of those.
Right.
That U.S. forces have also destroyed more than 140 Iranian naval vessels, including nearly 50 mine layers.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they're all gone yet.
No, they've got, and that's the like you were saying with the $30,000 drone. They've got a lot of cheap, small ships that would be hard to identify from.
Oh yeah, and they
from
travel
satellite,
like 40,
and they're just zooming all over the place.
40, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And they have like torpedoes on them, anti-ship stuff. as well as guns and stuff. But they're not very big.
So it's reminding me of when the British when we were fighting off the British, with our guys hiding behind trees shooting at us. The little guy took down the big
Right.
guy by using the resources available to him, and that's what Iran is doing. You got to hand it to them. They're using the resources available to them.
We overcame the most powerful military in the world.
Yeah,
and for our revolutionary,
the most powerful military in the world.
Yeah, but that means we need to be careful.
Yeah.
The THAAD system, which is the Thermal High Altitude Area Defense, as well as the Patriot system, 2 carrier strike groups, 200 fighter jets are all helping. There's different layers.
Yeah,
jets shoot them down, rockets, all kinds of other. And now I know Ukraine is working with us to put in cheap drones. That attack.
And they have been driving the military drone technology.
Yeah, it's innovative.
Couple years.
They're the innovators.
They have really stepped up the game.
But they got these cheaper attack drones that attack these $30,000 Toyotas.
Yeah,
and are very effective at taking them down. And they're hard to identify. They fly low. They're slow.
Well, and they it just kills me. They sent a truckload of them into Russia, and they were all automated. They just, as soon as they got to their launch location, they all popped up, went out and did their,
you mean the Ukrainians? Yeah, their systems.
And they can pump those out so fast.
Yeah.
And they're doing just like the Iranians. They're using the resources available. They're a small military, but they're making use of what they have in creative and ways. And protecting themselves, and now they're going to be able to help protect the United States.
Ukraine flies a lot of small civilian aircraft that have guns on them, and some of them have electronic devices that disrupt the signals to the drones, makes them crash. Flying all over the place too.
Yeah.
That within their borders,
right.
Not over Russia, but within their borders, and they've been very successful knocking them down. But Russia makes them as fast as Ukraine now, or Iran, and they bought licensing from Iran. But now Iran and Russia have been cut off.
Yeah.
Russia cut them off as soon as this thing started with the United States and Israel.
Yeah.
And said that agreement we have is void because Ayatollah's dead.
Yeah. Well, and that's the, I want to say that's the problem with the dictator.
Yeah.
It's actually benefiting us right now. But when the dictator is dead, the government is dead. If you set yourself up as the government, then the best.
That's according to Russia, not according to them. I mean, they've got people stepping into slots.
Yeah, but even if they put in a new dictator, that new dictator is a new government in and of himself.
I wouldn't take that job right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
And
I would think twice about it.
They do need to. Somebody needs to take the job because we have nobody that we can really talk to end this until somebody.
Trump says he's been talking to somebody.
Yeah,
and he won't give their names for good reason.
Well, and I like watching the clips of the comedians. One of them was like, he's talking to a guy, not the guy, a guy.
But we don't know. We don't know.
And then Trump said, well, it's hard to know who to talk to because all the top people were killed. So what we're saying is, one of the bottom guys that got promoted among all the other bottom guys that got promoted. And we're talking to one of them and not necessarily the one.
I'm sure it's somebody that has some influence or Trump wouldn't waste his time.
Yeah.
It's got to be a name that they can identify.
And I'm sure he's talking to somebody, like you said, but the Iranians are saying, no, there's no talks going on. Well, who said? Who's in charge over there to say, no, there's no talks going on? He's talking to somebody that seems to be in charge.
You mean like the CNN and all those guys? They don't know.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Iranians. It could be another guy that thinks he's in charge saying, I'm not talking to anybody. Well, you're not the one in charge.
I'm sure there's a way to vet that. And I think, I forget what it was.
There's so much fracture over there.
But there was some information that came from the guy he's talking to that shows that he's in the leadership.
Right.
Role. I mean, he's in the leadership.
But that's who's
I don't know
in the leadership.
We don't know, but neither does CBS or anybody else, and yet they claim to know.
Well, I'm talking about the Iranians themselves. There could be multiple people that think they're in the leadership.
It's a country 2.5 times size of Texas. Yeah. They're spread out, probably.
Well, we have a clear hierarchy here in the United States.
A succession plan.
Do they have a clear hierarchy?
They don't have a succession plan.
No. And so there could be 20 people out there think they're in charge.
Yeah,
and they don't know. Not one of them actually is. So we can't really trust anything coming out of Iran itself.
I guess anyone's in charge when the people listen or the military listens are in charge. If they say fire the weapons and they fire them, then they were in charge.
He's in charge.
The head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, Siri, he just died apparently. Directly commanded the closure of the Straits of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical energy choke points. Targeted in a strike overnight, along with his senior operational leadership, including intelligence and operations chiefs at a covert naval command center. If it's covert, how do we know?
Because we know everything.
Maybe. It's based on Israeli and U.S. intelligence, continues to demonstrate how deeply it is capable of penetrating. That came from an official from Israel.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the one that says Trump won't describe Iran conflict as a war because you're supposed to get approval. That's so hilarious. He just comes out and says it.
Well, it's true.
Yeah. And he's done it in the past. I mean, he said war. But he come out yesterday, said he was not going to use war anymore to describe the military campaign against Iran because you're supposed to get approval.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I've been frustrated with the media. They'll be interviewing a guy and he'll say, when you're at war, these kinds of things happen. And then later he'll say, this is a conflict. Well, is it a war or a conflict? There's a difference between a declared war
technically
and the definition of war is two nations fighting each other. There are two nations fighting each other. So by the dictionary definition, that's a war.
Yeah.
But when I have a war with my neighbors, nobody declared that, but you still call it a war. There's a difference between the declaration of war and the word war.
The reason he's careful because it's in the Constitution.
He's a representative of the government, and so he's going to use
but he's used war in the past. They don't like the word war because you're supposed to get approval. So I'll use the word military operation.
Yeah,
which is really what it is. It's a military dissemination under the Constitution. Only Congress can declare war.
Yep.
It's just hilarious. He puts it out loud.
But that's been an issue. We call it the Vietnam War, but technically it wasn't a war. Because they never declared
it. And we did it for many years. But we still
call it Vietnam War to this day.
I think the last war we declared was World War II.
Yep.
Rand Paul, he voted against blocking the war powers, or he voted for it, blocking the war powers of Trump. Forcing the stoppage. He said only Congress could declare war. And he said, that's not my opinion. It's Article 1 of the Constitution.
Yep.
Right? The Constitution existed during Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, Afghanistan.
And some of those should have been stopped.
And
but this is one of those issues I was talking about earlier where, in this moment, it might seem like a good idea, but the bigger issue is the precedent. There should be checks and balances against the power of the president to send troops into harm's way.
Well, there
is. And so, that's, I haven't researched the issue enough to make an opinion one way or the other on the War Powers Act there that they were putting together. But I can't hold somebody negatively if they said, no, the president needs to be have that control on him. I'm okay with that.
Well, we could not have pulled off the thing in Venezuela or pulled off what we're doing in Iraq or Iran. Sorry. If we had to invite every legislator into the argument, because they would have never kept it a secret.
Right. Yeah. Well, we have a covert oversight in the legislature already. We have lots of precedent and laws and rules about how the government can, the president can utilize the military. And ultimately, if the Congress doesn't want it to continue, they don't change it. They just don't fund it.
Well, they can change it.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how the wording is, but when he does a military strike like this, he has so many hours to notify Congress that it's been done.
Yep.
Not
he doesn't have
not
to
ask permission.
right.
No.
Yeah.
And that would be tying the hands into a bureaucracy so much that it could be very harmful to us in the long run.
Yeah. And that's why all these rules have come together. They've realized, the president can't go to war on his own, but he needs to be able to act on his own in certain situations.
Right.
And I think there's been a balance that has been created over the 250 years. And so I was indecisive on that whole thing.
The German defense minister is not indecisive. He's calling the war on Iran is a catastrophe for the world economies. Probably true.
Yeah.
And it's not our war. Oh, Boris says that economic catastrophe for nations around the world, adding that Germany does not want to get sucked into the conflict. To make it crystal clear, this war is a catastrophe to the world's economies. From the beginning on, we have not been consulted before. Nobody asked us before.
All right.
It's not our war, and therefore we don't want to get sucked into that war. So I guess we don't reach out to them for help.
Well, they couldn't really offer a whole lot of help anyway. They don't have a very big military anymore.
Well, they have less than Israel, which is weird. I mean, they're like a powerhouse economically in Europe.
Yeah.
But when it comes to aircraft and stuff, and Israel,
well,
is
I think after World War I and World War II, they were like, well, maybe we won't draw a lot of attention to ourselves militarily anymore.
That stuff's gone though. They do.
I love Germany. I lived there for 3 years. We visited there just a year ago. It's a great country, beautiful country, good people. I love interacting with them, but I'm not going to rely on them militarily.
I wouldn't.
No, and they have mandated time. They have to serve. Everyone has to serve some time in the military, and you can see even as a kid, I saw a huge difference. Because when their troops would march by, they were just kind of on a stroll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and their uniforms looked terrible. And then compare right next to the American soldiers, there was such a dramatic difference between. I was like, I would not trust those guys for anything because they're there because they have to be. They're not there because they believe.
They helped out with Ukraine. They gave some tanks and they gave some stuff over there.
Yeah.
By and large, United States is the big one.
Well, if you look at the expenditures of the United States spends twice as much as China on our military, and they're the second largest military. And then
Russia's still.
China is like twice as much as
Russia was always second, but they may be third now.
Yeah, Russia's down the line.
I don't know.
The chart I was looking at, DHS is now funded as much as Canada funds their entire military.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's like number
Canada
13
is a very low on their percentage that they spend. They're not meeting NATO recommendations because they know we're going to take care of them.
Yeah. Well,
and during World War II, apparently they were quite effective at.
That's what I've heard. I haven't seen any details or.
But apparently they don't really care much about military now. They figure we'll take care of it for them.
Well, they've got the oceans on both sides too, and nobody really cares about Canada. So, nobody's talking about going into Canada for anything.
Until they do. Article here says flight ops against Iran continues off of the Abraham Lincoln. Continues to fight operations. You heard what happened to the Ford, right?
Yeah.
They had fire in the laundry room or something.
Yeah. Well, and they had sewage issues.
That's been ongoing with that.
Well, and apparently that's an issue for pretty much all the ships at sea.
Apparently
the sewage becomes an issue, and it's just floating.
Apparently
around.
the backups, they back up a lot, and then it costs like thousands of dollars to fix it.
Well, it's on the floor, and these guys are having to perform their missions with poop all over the place.
Backups and everything, and apparently there's times that the bathrooms aren't available in certain parts of the ship. You have to go to other parts, and they're limited. Yeah. It's a shame. To spend that multi-billion-dollar thing, you can't get the toilets.
The toilets aren't working. Yeah. The one guy I was talking to, he said, they just put their butts over the side of the ship.
That's what.
It's just more effective and hygienic than actually using the.
Yeah, do like the Vikings. We'll go back.
And that's a shame. These guys are trying. Guys and girls. They're trying to do their perform their mission, do their service to the community. to the country, and they're walking around with.
I heard something on that just the size of the piping should have been larger. They chose not to. Well, it's kind of hard to change it now.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they could get some of them porta potties on there.
They're going to
put them out on the fight line. Yeah. That'd be nice.
They're going to deal with it like they always do.
But the fire did damage. It's important now getting some fixing done to it, but they're still flying operations off of it. Apparently.
Yeah. Well, those things are massive cities.
Yeah, 5,000
on water.
4,000.
So yeah, just like in Yuma, there could be a fire over here, fire over there, but the rest of the city moves on.
They still had to take it to port. It'd been out to sea for a long, long time, like 8 months or something.
I think it was like 18 months. Seriously? It was a long time.
I don't even think it's 18 months old.
No, it was out for a mission and then it got extended, and then they had.
Yeah, I mean, it never did come back in.
They were out for a long time, so I'm glad these guys are able to get to shore and get some ground time.
Yeah, and I saw a special on that just the other day about the living conditions and all that stuff, which it's a battleship. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a cruise ship.
Right.
I mean, it looks okay. I mean, if the toilets were working.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to be on it for a year.
No, but they were. Yeah. Yeah. These, as a Marine, we give the Navy a hard time, but the living conditions on ship are tough.
Well, it got it's 11 months it's been deployed. It began on June 24th, 2025.
Yeah. I knew it was a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
Almost a year.
That's a long day. Of course, I mean, aircraft come and go. I'm sure there's been people that have gotten off, people have gotten on, I'm sure at times for whatever reason.
Yeah, they'd rotate people through. But some of them have been there the whole time.
It's pushing the deployment near the record of the longest at sea. So it's been on fire for the laundry. Have to repair the laundry. It says more than 100 racks were lost in the fire. I guess that would be the sleeping area.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took them a while to get the fire out.
And you think, it's a metal ship. What's burning? But
well, they have
stuff on.
They have stuff in there other than metal, but more than 200 sailors were treated for smoke inhalation. One sailor was medically evacuated from the carrier for being injured in the damage control effort.
Mm-hmm.
2 were treated for lacerations.
Does it say how many?
It was the Navy took 1,000 mattresses off the future USS John F. Kennedy, which they're building, to send to the Ford.
Wow.
They lost mattresses.
They're taking 1,000 mattresses off of one, which means they're leaving some on there. But that just gives you an idea how many people are on the
Kennedy's
ships.
not finished yet.
Right. But I mean, how many people are on those ships that they're moving 1,000 mattresses at a time around?
Well,
that's
5,000.
Not all of them. Does it say 5,000?
That's how many people are on the ship. I mean, up to 5,000.
Amazing.
As of Monday, Ford's been deployed for 272 days. If the carrier is deployed through April, it will beat the post-Vietnam War record of 294 set by the USS Abraham Lincoln.
No, that's the one that's out there right now.
Yeah. So they're man, that's the newest ship.
Yeah.
And can't get the plumbing to work. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to take a trip on that one. President Trump said on Wednesday that comments from the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, retired,
right,
of course, is a validation for his administration's action on Iran. He was speaking at the National Republican Congressional Committee annual fundraising. He said, I heard that today Blinken made a statement that he should have done it. They made a mistake. He should have done it. Other presidents should have done it. Obama should have done it. Obama was worse. That's typical Trump.
Who was Blinken? What administration was Blinken?
I think he was working for Biden, wasn't he?
I don't know. It sounds.
Yeah, he played a role in the Biden administration approach to Iran. negotiations.
Biden wasn't going to do
Blinken says you have midterm elections. It shouldn't be, but it is too often a factor. I wish we would have gotten there. We worked very hard on getting there, that longer and stronger agreement. And I think at various points, we were really leaning into it. The Iranians were leaning back at their points. They were leaning in, and we had our own constraints. I'll acknowledge it too, that sometimes politics get in the way. So he's saying because of midterm elections, they didn't do it.
And I think Republicans are the other idea. Hey, midterm elections, let's start something.
Well, there's a lot that don't want that thought, the timing sucks. It's midterm elections. You shouldn't be doing this.
Well, and that's, that goes back to what I was saying. I was like, we need more clarity as to why we're going in and what we're doing, because we got people that are on the fence, and we need their votes in the midterms. I think we would. I think
the rationale's out there, and it's out there, and I think Israel was going with or without us.
Yeah. Well, but it wasn't clearly stated at the start. Even within his administration, different people were saying different things.
No.
I think it needed to be a more clear, concise message, making it apparent why we were going in, why it was important.
Was there really disagreement, or just not saying much other than it was an imminent threat, not expanding, not expanding on it? So.
I think it was Rubio said that Israel needed us to go in or something like that,
which is true.
Yeah. Well, they didn't need us to. They were going to go on their own, but
they were.
They gave us a heads up. But then somebody else said that there was an imminent threat of a nuclear attack, and there was just that should have been a clear message from the start, because we got people that we need their votes, and they're not solid supporters, and we need to make sure that
the nuclear attack may have been real, but it's not what you think it is. I mean, it was mentioned during Beck that Israel said if we get in trouble, we'll attack them with a nuclear weapon before we take defeat.
Is that the different direction?
Now that's according to Glenn Beck. That didn't come from an official deal.
Right.
Says, but we're fighting for our lives. We're fighting for our existence.
Right.
We can't let that happen.
Right.
And if we have to use a nuclear attack, we'll do it to survive.
Yeah.
And Trump decided to go with them.
Right. And I'm not disputing any of that. It's just I think they could have been better at the messaging, and I think that would.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much should be said, and I know it's all going to come out in the long run.
Right.
What it is, and maybe,
but that won't help us with the midterms.
Won't help. I don't know.
Long term doesn't help.
If this thing wraps up before the midterm, it will.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I don't know how it can. I mean, when I look at Iran on what they're fighting for, what they're doing,
right.
It's not like Venezuela, where they're fighting for food and all that kind of stuff. These guys are fighting for Allah.
Right. Well, but that's the other thing. Is,
and death is an honor to them. I mean, how do you beat that other than give them what they want? Give them honor.
Yeah. Well, not all of them. The people, the general people, they don't. They're not. They want to be able to live their lives the way that they need to live.
I think so. I think you're right. There's probably a big group of people, but
it's so fractured over there now.
But how do you get them to step up?
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the other messaging thing. Trump was like, "Oh, we're going to be done in 2 weeks."
Because it's not like the United States where we all have guns. They don't have guns.
All right.
The only ones that have guns are those in power.
Right. Well, and that's
how are you powerful against that?
That's why we have guns there, and that's one of the brilliant things.
Founding fathers had it that way,
and I think that's the brilliant thing that they did is they put together a great government. And then they said, but if it fails, you have the power to take it over and fix it. We're going to make sure every single one of you has the option to have a gun. You don't have to, but you can have a gun, and you can stand up for yourself, and you can get together and you can overthrow this.
I think it's failing, but it's not failing like that.
No. But that's why it's not failing like that, because the people have the power, either within the government, and they have the power outside the government.
Yeah. Those that want to destroy us want to take that power away.
Yeah.
They want to take Second Amendment out.
Yeah. And that, I think, is what is really making our country work.
You can't destroy us if we've got more licensed hunters than we have military guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah.
I mean, like what's going on with Iran right now. To get the zealots and the guys in power out, it's not pretty, and they're not just going to listen to common sense or anything. They're going to follow a religious leader and jump off the cliff.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not a situation I know how to figure out. No. But Venezuela seemed to take a couple hours.
Right.
You take out the first guy and say, "Who wants to negotiate now?" Everyone says,
"Next,
next. We're done. What do you need?"
Yeah. Well, and with Venezuela, we were able to say he's the guy we had the problem with. The rest of you were fine with. He's the problem. We took him out. Now let's put together something that works for
Rodriguez.
For
that took his place is just as bad as far as being a Marxist and all that.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to be taken out.
Exactly.
So I'm going to play your game.
Right.
And that game's going to empower the people. It'll bring money to the state, to the government.
Right.
It'll bring money to the people. They'll eat again.
And a wise dictator will keep the people happy. So, even if they're in it for themselves and their glory and whatever, if they're like, the best way to keep this going is keep the people happy. Okay, great.
I think the United States.
I can support that.
I think the United States, since we have air supremacy,
everything's.
We should load up a lot of cargo planes with firearms, pistols, and rifles, and just start dropping them all over with parachutes. Everybody's got a gun.
You guys sort it out.
Sort it out.
Well,
we disarmed you.
And
we did that in World War II.
We dropped guns everywhere.
Yeah, there was a little cheap pistol, a 45 pistol made. That was a stamp pistol, and they just dropped them all over for resistance groups.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they had like only 5 cartridges or something. They're collector's items now, but they must have been really cheap to make. It was just a cheap stamp, like a Saturday Night Special type gun. You didn't want to fire it too much, maybe.
Well, they only had 5 rounds.
Yeah, we could get a bunch of them made and just parachute these things all over.
I'm not opposed to that idea.
Yeah. Let's call up Trump.
Well, he's listening, isn't he?
I don't know, maybe. Let's call him up and suggest that. Just parachute firearms all over the place.
Yeah. Give the people the power.
Yeah,
and let them figure out what they want their country to be.
They might have a better protest.
Yeah,
at this point.
The only thing that's going to work long term is if the people have decided what they want their country to be and they take it over. Right now, it's just too fractured. I don't think they're going to be able to have that conversation. So it's going to be an issue.
I wonder what the outrage would be from the Democrats if they did that.
Drop the guns in there.
Just parachuted them all over the place.
I want to do it just to see what they do.
Little bitty parachutes coming down with these guns on them.
Can you imagine?
It would be. We really did that in World War II, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When you look back at World War II, some of the things that they did. There's a movie on Netflix right now called Mincemeat, where it was they put documents on a dead body and let the Germans discover the dead body and the documents to distract them from what they were actually. Brilliant. Who thinks of things like that? And then you got Argo, where they, got the people out of Israel was it Israel? I don't remember where, but on bicycles, they got them out of the embassy. No, what embassy got captured back in the 70s or 80s?
Oh, in the 70s? Right? 70s? I have no idea.
I don't remember where, but they took them out. They went in with a movie crew.
Oh,
and
pretended some movie on that or something. Yeah,
it's called Argo. It's a great movie. Ben Affleck is in it, but
it's great anyway.
Yeah, all the creative things that people do in warfare. They're like, who thinks of something like that? And it works.
You get down to desperate, man.
Yeah,
you start thinking outside the box. We got to take a break. It's already 7:50.
Yeah.
Do you know that? We'll be right back. Mortgage One Studios, Russ Clark Show. We got Chris Larson here.
We're back.
We are back. I'm going to take off the sign that says commercial break before somebody texts me. Tells me and all that.
Well, they might appreciate it because then they can't see us.
Yeah. Now they can see us again. The we talked about AI a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the fantastic thing it's doing. And it's going to help with collateral damage and everything else. And it helps with accuracy. And when we say we're going to blow up a building,
we want to blow up that building.
That building is not going to exist.
Right.
That's
well, and we can tell people, get out of that building. We're about to blow it up. So
I don't think we do that.
No, they do.
I know
if it's like a infrastructure kind of situation.
Israel did that. Israel does that, like in Gaza and stuff.
Yeah,
he does that. They do that. I don't know if we do that.
Yeah, we've been doing that.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, if we want to take out their electricity or something like that, get out of there. We're going to blow that up. We don't. Wow. We're not trying to kill you.
Never heard that, but that would help on that
infrastructure damage. They do that. They we're just affecting the infrastructure. Go ahead and get out. We'll take care of. We'll take.
You seen some of those pictures where they blow up the underground missile launch systems? A lot of them are underground all over the place.
Right.
But we know where they are a lot. Right. We know a lot of them, and we've got planes loitering. And if something takes off, they see it right away, and they just take out the whole facility.
Yep.
But like I said, it's such a big place, 2.5 times the size of Texas.
Yeah. And we're seeing the news, and it's still in the back of my mind that I see what's going on in the news or something. I'm like, oh wow, that whole country is destroyed. But then I have to remind myself, no, there's places that are still function. They're completely unaffected. People don't even know what's going on over there. Same with Ukraine. With all that's been done in Ukraine, it's a small country, but there's still parts of it that are untouched, and everyone's going about their business.
Yeah, people are still going to the theater.
Yeah, and it's hard to.
Ukraine was in the Olympics.
Yeah,
yeah. Russia was not.
I didn't even notice. I didn't watch the Olympics. I'm used to it being like force fed on a channel, but I do streaming now.
But I think Russia was told they can't. Versus
I don't know if we've done that ever.
Yeah.
I know people have boycotted it and chosen to not.
Yeah, but I think they were told not to come. Yeah, at least that's what I remember hearing when I was watching it, that they were not invited.
When you were talking about the AI, it reminds me the other night when we were at the Republican meeting, and those guys that are running for the ACC, one of them mentioned that all the environmentalists over the last 50 years have been predicting all these terrible things, and none of it came to pass. So I did a quick Google search. Have any of these predictions from the environmentalists over the years come to pass? And the Google AI said that over the decades, they've predicted this. None of which has occurred. So even the Google AI, whoever's in charge of that, is like, no, it hasn't happened. I thought that was hilarious.
Even Greta Ginsburg, Ginsburg, she's young. She's had to take her predictions down.
Yeah.
I can't stand her.
I don't know. I see
she's
that
bad.
Girl that
it was started off
attention a couple years ago.
She started off as a climate activist.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? And everyone in Europe loved her. She was like a darling. She was 17 and she was given policy adjustments to countries.
Yeah.
Now she's doing Palestine activism and anti-America, pro-Israel, or anti-Israel, pro-Iran. She's an idiot.
Well, she's a kid.
And she's rich.
Yeah. Well, you give a kid attention, they're going to keep doing what gets them attention.
So she got arrested by the Israeli government a couple of times because she kept trying to break into Gaza.
Oh, really?
They would have killed her. They tried to save her life.
That's crazy.
She's insane.
Yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. The Google AI
ratted out the climate change. Mike Johnson, Republican out of Louisiana. The House Speaker. I'm beginning to. I like him now. I mean, he's really been tough.
It was surprising how he got into the House position when he's like the sixth choice or something like that, and everyone's like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
And is he? He's not going to last. We've had some big names come in here, and they were out in a month or two or whatever. but he's sticking it out. He's
Oh.
making his stand. He's saying, "No, this is my position, and I'm going to work it, and I'm going to do my job."
He is. You know, he's a very religious guy. He goes to the chapel there at the Capitol and prays before before he starts his day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a very religious guy. And I thought, wow, he's going to be, soft and all that. And it's not him that's soft. I mean, he's tough.
Yeah.
And I was thinking the whole time, if you're going to Louisiana, why don't you get John Kennedy? Because that guy's funny. Of course, he's a senator. That guy's great.
Yeah.
I just like listening to him.
Uh-huh.
He just is. He has a great way of getting a point across. He was talking about the Senate the other day. He says the Senate works very slow.
Yes.
Sometimes we take months to do absolutely nothing. Like, I love this guy.
Yeah,
he makes great points.
Yeah,
he does.
So what's Mike Johnson?
Mike Johnson's talking about artificial intelligence.
Okay.
He says America's going to win the AI race. We will win it if two things happen. If government resists the siren song of control, and if the industry steps up to our patriotic partner, I think we can do both those things. Well, right now on Capitol Hill, they're discussing AI and what to do. And he said there's three things it needs to accomplish regarding IA. I mean, specifically, he says, the first thing is we have to deliver a single national framework that protects children, safeguards communities, supports creators, and avoids a patchwork of state regulations. Because the states all want to get involved now and start they want to make national policy and do it at the state level, which, like you said, the patchwork would just be ridiculous. So we recognize that consistent shifts in policy don't just confuse the market, they run contrary to our national interests.
Yeah.
And that's true. And Elon Musk, you remember, came out early on and says, this stuff's scary. We need some control. And nobody would do it.
Right.
Because he was going to pause his own. He's all right, then we're in. We're going in. He said lawmakers will utilize existing structures to establish safeguards and rules of the road, so to speak, without smothering the whole marketplace with red tape.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of states that want to just smother it and make it go away.
Yeah.
Well, then it means China beats us.
Well, and it's such new technology and it has so much potential. We should be wary and we should be concerned.
We should be afraid.
Yeah. But different people react to fear differently. And so if we got 50 different states, everybody's responding differently to it. It's going to be a mess. I like the idea of, state power, state control, but there's some things that need to be federalized. It needs to be blanket across the country, like the interstate.
Yeah, we got a surprise guest. It's great to be bombed by people.
Just finishing the thought. The SAVE Act, getting identification nationalized and standard across the country is important.
I think so.
I think AI regulation and control
should
also be.
But I don't know enough about AI to know what that control should look like.
Nobody does.
I have no idea.
So whatever we do put in place, I think needs to have built-in opportunities to reevaluate.
Let's ask the mayor.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. What would you do on AI? Wait a minute. I'm going to get your mic up.
Oh, thanks. What should we do on AI?
Yeah.
I think we need to hold on, and it's going to run regardless of, government. I know we think government can be all powerful, but it can't.
No.
Right.
No.
And nor should it be.
No. Yeah.
So for AI, I think it's trying to be prudent and ethical, which, let's face it, the actors around the world aren't going to conform to our ethics and they're going to have their own culture, their own ethics, right? So we could control it here, doesn't mean it's controlled over there.
Right.
And so, and that could be any number of countries and cultures. So we need to be smart enough to know we're not running the show, but how can we manage from,
and we can't let them get ahead.
No, and we really can't, but I'm not sure how you do that. This is a whole new world. Right?
It is a new world. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
And it's really, that's kind of where I know people don't want to really, they kind of tease me when I talk about it, but the next wars are fought in space and online.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't mean it's Star Wars with lasers and all
Well,
that stuff,
right.
but it's
It
communication.
could be.
Well, it could be. But it's communication,
Yeah.
and it's the
Information.
these kinetic, essentially rods of steel that come barreling to the earth. And,
Right.
I mean, there's a whole different world that we just beginning to understand.
We're just looking at what happened in Venezuela and Iran right now.
Right.
9,000 attacks in Iran. It took AI just to figure out how to put it all together.
Right. So there was an exercise out at YPG. It was actually a 3-year exercise. They and I'm forgetting the name right now. Maybe you guys remember, but where they did the connected war engagement. Right. So they had mappings from however long back we've been mapping the area of action. They had weather overlaid with, satellite interference with where satellite, everything was connected. And what that idea was, and is where I think what you're seeing today, is they're able to detect the war environment, analyze the threats, decide what assets that we have at our disposal that could engage those assets, and do that within seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My question to them was, because I've seen all the movies, where's the oversight? Where's the element of the human coming in and saying,
we have Skynet. We're fine.
That's what they're calling it. They're calling it Skynet.
Of course, that's in reference to a Terminator movie where we got taken over by the computers.
And I'm sure somebody thought, it would be hilarious. Let's call it Skynet.
They did it. I just like, you're tempting. You're just tempting fate or God or somebody at that point. But that's reality. Is we're able to do that today for tests that weren't just that long ago out at YPG. And we're not talking just, hey, Army's assets. It's every branch and our allies all can plug right in. The F-35 is completely digitally.
From reading this thing today, it looked like we were working with the Israelis. We were all plugged in together because we all had separate missions. They doing theirs, our doing ours, but we all know where each other's are. We're not duplicating.
Right. We're not hitting midair trying to get
no. Well, there's so many aircraft in the air,
Right.
And we've been talking about comparing to World War II all morning, and that did happen. All the different countries involved, and they were allies, but they didn't know what the other allies were doing. They thought they were enemies or whatever, and they'd attack them, and that happened routinely.
Yeah.
And so it's we were talking about coordinating our own forces. Yeah, throw in another countries and at the same time. It's impossible for any human being to do that.
If we're on the same program.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. The AIs.
And that's how
all the movies.
Happen.
All the movies are like AI is going to take over and ruin everything. But
yes.
That's
why I keep saying we've seen these movies.
Yeah, we've seen them.
We've gained this out in Hollywood for years.
And they all come out the same way.
It's not very good. So we need to recognize what we've envisioned could happen and fight against that.
Exactly.
Yeah. How to do that? That's the magic sauce, I guess.
We need an AI mayor, is what we need.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I
don't know how that would work since residency is an issue, but
good point.
Yeah.
What's up today, Mr. Mayor?
What's up in Yuma?
Today,
can we say that?
Can you say that? I think that might be
that's somebody else's line.
Might be trademarked. We're in the election cycle, so that's thankful that we're through the signature gathering phase.
That was a lot of signatures.
It was a lot of signatures, and it happened just. It kind of took us. You
didn't have a lot of time.
No, we had very.
How much time did you lose when they changed the dates?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But the bigger problem isn't really the 2 weeks; it's the fair. Because the 1,000 signature minimum that we needed, generally, I can get at fair.
Right.
So that would have been a non-factor till they moved it, and they gave us heads up that it was likely moving.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't wait and then get caught. With hey, my deadline moved on me. So that was okay, but it was just a lot of signatures.
A lot of extra work.
I was very blown away by, if I could personally share a little something. I mean, the number of people that helped me get those signatures was like nearly 40 individual people. And I wasn't tracking that all of them were even doing that. But at the Lincoln Day dinner and this last week, people just kept handing me filled out
That's awesome.
petitions, and I'm just like, wow, this is overwhelming. It was really overwhelming. We easily crested 1,700.
Nice.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
That's
yes. But I was sweating it for the whole.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I got a text. I don't remember who it was for, but on Sunday, before the petitions were due, on Sunday I got a text from somebody in the network saying, "I still need more signatures."
Yeah.
And people were working it till the last second.
Yeah, and if you got in later, it was dramatically harder.
Yeah.
But there's a way we're going to try to fix that. So it's in the charter is what happened.
In the charter.
Yeah. So what happened was the state legislature, they love telling cities how to be cities.
Of course.
Mhm.
So several years ago, I can't remember the year, but we were told to switch our elections from off cycle
to
on cycle. Well, in the charter, just like in state law, there's a provision for how many signatures you need based upon a percentage of the last vote.
Right.
So when we went from off cycle to on cycle, the vote number dramatically went up. The percentages didn't change. And so the number of signatures dramatically went up. So what we're looking at is to try to get back. I think we were originally around the 300, 350 range for signatures, is to propose to the voters to change the charter to whatever percentage or mechanism.
You would do that with some kind of voting.
Yes.
Okay.
The charter could only be modified by vote. And so we would do that in the November election along with hopefully the expenditure limitation.
And when you're mentioning the numbers here, for the high school district, I know we needed 400 signatures.
Mhm.
The high school district is enormous compared to the city of Yuma. The city of Yuma is probably half.
Well, the high school district is nearly the whole county.
It's
except for
huge.
Welton,
It goes
right?
all it doesn't include Walton, but it goes up north all the way to like Parker or no, is it Parker next?
Quartzsite?
Quartzsite, yeah.
Okay.
It's just
I didn't
huge.
realize it still went up.
It goes way up. And so if you need 400 for that massive area, you should not need 1,000 for the city of Yuma, which is in inside that area. So that makes sense that you guys are maybe a little overwhelmed there.
But you made it, and as far as I know, you're the only one that got the signatures in running for mayor.
That's correct.
Oh,
yeah.
So you're the mayor.
Well, you still, got to get the vote of the people because write-ins are capable.
He could beat him by a write-in.
Yeah. All right. So don't make anybody mad. Next.
And my philosophy is always you never count your chickens before they hatch. You never assume anything because anything can happen, and it's politics.
Right.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen in politics. So, but yeah, it's nice to not have a direct candidate today, and I've seen posts that are trying to find a write-in candidate. So, that's part of the process.
But since nobody officially went up against you, and nobody has written in, and even the people are calling for somebody to write in, they're not doing it themselves. There's not that much resistance to you being the mayor. If there was, somebody would have stood up by now.
Thanks for saying.
So it sounds like you're doing. I'm not city. I'm county, but it sounds like you're doing a pretty decent job.
Is this your third term?
Recognizing it. I'm in my third term right now.
You're in your third term now. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
It's not a job that is it comes without controversy.
No, and there should be some healthy discussions.
Yeah.
Well, and you enjoy that, I know.
Yeah, healthy discussions.
Edward Gary wants to know if he can be a write-in.
So the problem Edward's going to have, unless he moved to Yuma and I wasn't aware, you have to be a resident. I think it's a year ahead.
Well, he's already got a shirt made up.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Thanks to the rich.
Isn't that great?
Well, you know
he's
what?
already done the shirt.
Our community income would increase dramatically with that one relocate. So
yeah, because you got to tax everybody.
Well, his base
at least
income would.
Yeah, he would help.
Yeah, that would.
He would help. It would offset. So he made the shirt pretty quickly. I thought it was catchy.
It's catchy. It's not one I'm going to wear, but it's definitely catchy.
Yeah, but he would. He has a good staff. He says he has a Carrie. Carrie is his right hand. I don't know if you know Carrie.
I think I met Carrie when he was.
I've never met her. I'm afraid of her though.
Oh, you have never met her? Then
I've never met her, but no, she comes into town occasionally. She does. She lives in Australia, I think, but she does come into town quite a bit. And the way he talks about her, I'm afraid of her.
Wow.
She's the one that gets things done.
People who organize people like Edward
they got to be tough.
Yeah, they've got to have some strength behind them.
Yeah. Apparently she does. She does do that. So you have any campaign promises for what's coming up?
Well, to kind of to your point, it's really more about trying to build on the momentum we've created. I think we've got a great council right now. I think I've been very blessed with quality councils.
You have. You've had some good people around you.
And
sometimes they leave though.
Well, they do leave.
I hate that.
And then I badger them to come back. And sometimes they do, Leslie. And sometimes they don't. But
so when's your spaceport going to start?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, I mean, start. What do you mean? We've started.
I want to start. You know, launching.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to take a ride.
Yeah. Well, if you end up taking a ride, it wasn't intentional. So what we're at right now is the land process is moving forward. So we resubmitted everything to FAA. As soon as they give us the go ahead, that starts a clock of 180 days.
And that's just to get approval.
That's just the license.
The license.
And so then once we have the license, we can start signing and having in-depth conversations with companies that would come and build and operate.
And I have no clue how many people are in line to say I need another location to fire rockets. Yeah. I mean, is that
it's a thing. So here's
well, like you said, everything's going to space and digital. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the number of I forget the number of satellites currently orbiting the Earth. They're in the tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Okay? I imagine it's gonna be hard to get a space to get through it all.
There's some of that issue, and that's not our issue. That's going to have to be the launching.
So the guys figure out
where. So if you've got land in question, we have a location.
We have a location.
It's
just working with the state to get it. The title
state land.
Where are we looking at?
So it's south. If you're familiar with the area service highway, when it hits the county 23rd alignment, it's kind of at that knuckle, that corner.
Okay.
Right there. So it's up against the range. There isn't anyone living within miles except for the prison's still 3 miles away. So that gives us the safety buffer.
It'd be a great view from the prison.
It would be a great view, yes. Because we're probably with the air traffic in Yuma, we're probably gonna have to launch at night. And there's nothing better than see a rocket.
There's not a lot of air traffic down there. That's so close to the border.
Well, that's the other reason why we picked that area. Was it's kind of in that niche with the bombing range, airspace control.
It's in the corners, could be out of the way.
Yeah, that's the idea. And it's not flying over ag land.
No,
not even close to produce. And it's all undeveloped. It's all undeveloped land, and we're going to be launching southerly.
That would be cool because we can see the SpaceX going across the sky, and that's cool enough.
That's awesome.
This would be really awesome.
Well, we actually anticipate a little kind of niche tourism industry showing up.
Yeah.
Come watch the space. We'll sell you popcorn.
Yeah.
We can sell popcorn.
Right. We could sell popcorn. we could sell those really things that look like antennas for aliens or whatever. I mean, I think that part to me is an additional benefit. Isn't like, hey, that's why we got to launch.
Yeah. So if you, how probable do you think this is on getting through? I mean, it's a hard deal.
It's hard and it takes time. And I know that's frustrating for people.
Yeah.
It's like we've been talking about this forever, but let's face it, it's government and it's space. Those are two things that don't move. When they move fast, but they're not moving.
You don't have anyone like an Elon Musk helping you at all because he's got his own thing down in Texas.
He does. And the size of rockets we're talking about are not his size.
Okay.
He has the heavy lift, the really big stuff. So this is how the market works, right? In order of launch priority, it's government and defense, right? And then you've got commercial manned flight, and then commercial flight, which is really where Elon, he's also in manned flight, but the commercial flight is the heavy lift and all that other stuff. And then it kind of works its all the way down until you get to these small rockets.
So we're going to be doing bottle rockets?
We're doing bottle rockets. We're not doing bottle rockets. No. These are they're called small form rockets.
Okay.
They launch satellites. You can't launch a Tesla car into space with it. You can't launch, people into space. This is specifically small form rockets. They have a very effective fuel class, and they've got a very small footprint when you launch. But the reason why that's important is because in the industry, when Elon wants to launch, it shuts down 6 other launch pads.
Oh yeah.
Well, guess who was on those 6 other launch pads?
Those guys.
These small, low priority rockets. So there's this backup of all these guys trying to get their satellites up into space. Like I said, we're about, 20 or 30,000 satellites right now. We're supposed to be over 100 satellites in like 5-6 years. How does that happen?
You got to have rockets.
You got to have lots of rockets, and to have rockets, you have to have
launch them
spaceports.
Right.
And so, there's a lot of, hey, we want to make sure we're launching from the United States. I don't want to launch from Mexico. I don't want to have to worry about foreign security. Here, our space one is controlled by the Marine Corps, and we'll have the appropriate level of security. But at the end of the day, at the spaceport, it's a glorified concrete pad. Because they're bringing in their tech, which is the end game for me, is get them to build their tech here. There's 700 Marines that are exiting the Marine Corps every year while they're stationed in Yuma. They've been working on F-35s. They've been working on Ospreys. They have those clearances and skills to be able to attract aerospace here. Well, how do we get their attention? We launch their rockets into space. Oh, why don't we save transportation costs from Florida or Northern California? We can just build it in Yuma. We've got better business environment. We've got better workforce. There's just a lot of reasons to have it. So the spaceport is kind of the shiny object, but the end game for me is the manufacturing.
It's a whole new industry.
Correct.
Yeah.
Get more attention to Yuma.
And
help. So we've got the military is a huge component. We got agriculture is a huge component.
Right.
And we can get the technology, another huge component.
Right.
Now, we would be so diversified.
That's exactly it. So
we'd be in a solid position.
I've had people tell me, I didn't ask for a spaceport. Well, you know what? What I've been asked for from my constituents for the last 12 years is, hey, help my kids get good jobs.
Right.
I want quality jobs in Yuma.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know how you do that. I mean, Trader Joe's would be fun to have, but that's not turning the needle for anybody.
Yeah.
If you bring in a new industry, that turns the needle. That gets us to, ag's never going to go away. It's always going to be a high 70, 80% of our economy. We need to pick other industries that can work alongside of it and not sacrifice ag. And this works very, very well in that south part of the Yuma area.
Stays out of the way.
Yes.
Ag, it's not in the way.
Correct.
Now, it's less than a mile from the Mexican border.
It's about 3 miles, but
is it 3? Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was closer, but the Mexican government obviously has to get involved somehow.
So we've had those conversations.
Okay.
And the first one was with undersecretary of, and I don't remember the department name, but it's like innovation technology. It's whoever's controlling the space agency in Mexico. We told them what we were doing, and we'd like to have an agreement that that's okay with them, that they're good with that. And I even talked about cross-border initiatives. Mexicali's got an amazing aerospace sector. There's some natural synergies there. They're 100% on board. Matter of fact, they said they're launching their own satellite cluster. They want to do one from Yuma to kind of demonstrate the partnership. So they asked for an MOU. We've sent them a draft MOU to review and comment, and the back and forth thing the attorneys do. And then we're going to be signing an MOU with Mexico, the federal government. The governor of Sonora, which is who we're actually flying over. I talked with him, with our governor here in Arizona. He said the same thing. We want to be part of that. Let's get an MOU in place. Those MOUs are sitting on their desks now to be reviewed and commented. And there is talk that the one with Sonora might get signed between the governors at the next Arizona-Mexico Commission meeting in April.
Wow, that's soon.
Yes. Awesome. And I'm trying to move soon, because when Mexico shifts politics,
oh yeah,
they just, it's a whole new, it's not even shuffling the deck. It's a whole new deck. So we need to make sure we hit this window to keep things on track. So that is definitely an issue that and of course I've talked to the mayor in San Luis Rio, Colorado. He's on board because the governor's on board.
Right.
So I mean, all that lines up.
Cool.
So when these rockets take off from here, they would go over Mexico.
Yeah. So yes,
towards the equator.
Now, what the actual rocket scientists tell me is, by the time it hits the border, it should be in international space. So it's technically not in their airspace.
I see.
However, being good neighbors and all, we don't want to just ignore that.
Right.
We want to have those. We've got good relationships with Mexico. Let's build on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
we'd go up that. I guess it would go straight up for a while.
It'd go straight up for a while. Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't know where international space, like 60 miles.
I don't know. That's why I rely upon the experts.
They said it. It's good enough.
I'm an engineer, but I'm not that kind of engineer. I can understand what they're talking about, but I'm not doing the calculation.
That's a big project. Now, at one time there was a talk down in San Luis area to build a 800-foot tower for solar, or for I guess power or something.
Power, yeah. It was essentially like a condensing tower that the downward pull of air would turn.
I don't know if everybody knows how tall it would have been. It would have been like the World Trade Center type thing,
like the tallest thing in the county
by a lot.
It was like a quarter-mile high or something.
Yeah. But did that thing ever?
No. I was always skeptical. And the mayor there at the time, I suggested to him that before they issue a building permit, they get a bond a teardown bond. So if they get built halfway and stop, you don't have this albatross sitting in the middle of their city. They never got to that point, and I think it was funding. It's not that the technology wasn't valid. I think it had issues because they were desalinating seawater. Well, that takes a lot of energy. So are you actually creating more energy, or you're using what you're creating and it's net zero? I never got into the level of studies to understand that. But the technology is technically, theoretically,
I really wanted them to build it. I thought because you could see that all over Yuma. You would, even if it's in San Luis, you'd be able to see.
You could sell advertising on
it
for space. I mean,
for space. Speaking of desalination, we didn't have a good year with water.
Right.
Water's always a concern.
Yeah.
And I know Yuma has you have your own claim to water, right?
Is the city? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We have 50,000 acre feet direct allocation.
Yeah.
We have another 17,000 acre feet conversion. So when we build when a developer builds on ag land that has water rights, they convert those to city water rights.
Okay.
So that gives us that allocation.
Of course, those allocations are nice on paper. If there's water.
Correct. They're paper water.
And it doesn't mean that even if our rights are strong, that people don't try to take them.
Right.
That is the fight right now.
Yes. Always is.
Yes.
I guess it's generational, and lawyers can make careers out of fighting it.
Yes, politicians can make careers out of fighting. I mean, it's not something that's going to go away.
And right now it's fighting for us to keep it, while other politicians are fighting to take it.
Correct.
And we're all fighting over the same drops.
We are. Well, so here's what's interesting is Yuma being on the river. We have one source of water, the river.
Right.
But in the valley, they have other sources of water. And so the messaging that we're giving is, really Yuma needs to have a prominent seat at the table, because between our ag and our cities and our tribal nations, this is it for us. Right. If you drain that, we're done.
We look like Ela Bend after that.
Right. It'll be a downward slope that'll be hard to fix.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the messaging. We realize every community thinks they're the most important community, and blah, blah, blah. But
for us, it's true.
For us, it's true. Yes. That's not exactly how we put it, but yeah, it is definitely a different game for us. So
yeah. And I know we have a desalination plant right here in town.
Yes.
It's right there. It sits there. It's government. It's federal. Yeah. Huge one. It doesn't it's
operate.
Operational. It just, they don't operate it.
It's on the river down near
by the Cocopah RV place.
RV park.
Oh,
see it from there. It's been there for 20 years or
more. So it was originally built in I think the 60s or 70s. We signed a treaty with Mexico because the water they were getting, and I understand what their complaint was all the tailwater, which has salts, and also it was just too corrosive and just too salty for them to do much with. So they were complaining about it. So we signed this treaty, said, okay, we'll make sure the water quality is here.
Right.
And to do that, we're going to build this desal plant. Well, it took about 20 years to build the desal plant. The federal government moves fast.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
And so by the time the plant got to the point of operation, the way the farmers were farming cleaned up the water.
Wow.
And our water quality was fine, which is why it never operated. Or it's operated, but more in a test, test mode.
So they used to dump the salinal water into the river.
Right.
Now it's in a canal, kind of goes around it.
It's in a canal, but the issue, the water quality issue is we don't really use tailwater like we used to.
No.
All the ag produce fields are now laser flat.
Right.
So the water that's put on it stays on it and it soaks in. Whereas before you would tilt them to the tail, you would then flood the field and then pick up the water on the other side and then return it to the river.
Okay.
So this is a lot more efficient when you're talking about use of water. There's actually a study done by U of A about 5-6 years ago, analyzing the way our farmers utilize water. And they do this on their own. There's not government telling them to do this. It is the most efficient anywhere in the world.
Really?
You can't produce, well, I don't know that you can't produce any more efficient. Like crop per drop is the term. Than we're doing here in Yuma, but nobody currently does.
Because you would think if you're flooding, you got evaporation issues.
Sure.
And you would think that would diminish the effectiveness.
Correct. But if you look at how they're doing it now, it's different. Sometimes it's sprinkled, which is less water. Sometimes there's drip, and then sometimes it's flooding. And all those have different reasons. So flooding not only irrigates your crops, but it also pushes your salts down out of
which is necessary.
That's cool.
And then there's like 90 pumps in the area that pumps water out of groundwater just to get rid of it. Otherwise, the water would bring the salts up.
Yes.
Right.
And that water goes into Salinal Canal, and that used to feed the desalination plant.
Right. And now by the time we get it mixed with the flow of the river, there's not a quality
big problem.
Huh.
So desalination plant still sits there. It's operational if they wanted to turn it on.
It would take a little bit of tooling to get it production level is what I've been told. I haven't toured it in a few years, but and it was really set up to do river desalination, which is different than ocean.
Right. It's not going to do.
So
I don't even know why it still exists, actually.
Well, because to tear it down would be
costs
pretty
money.
expensive.
But there's people that work there.
Right. Well, that's where the Bureau of Reclamation office is. So they're not just everyone working there isn't just working on the desal.
Okay.
They're also working on all the other things that Bureau of Rec does, which is land management and surveying and all that other stuff. So
I would like to. I mean, I'd like to see a real desalination plant at some point for the state.
Yeah.
Because if
pumping ocean water.
We could get it out of Mexico.
Well, there's discussions about converting this one for the state, or for the region, really, because it's a federal facility. But we're at the end of the river, so you do that. That's great, but you still got to pump it. You're going to pump the water either way, right, to get it upriver.
Yeah.
I think from an operational standpoint, it's easier to maintain pumping of clean water than it is of the water that needs to be desalinated. So it makes a lot of sense to me that it would be here.
Pumping salt water up would be.
You'd pump up the salt water, clean it up here, as opposed to pumping the salt water all the way to
Phoenix or
something.
But see, we get so much water off the river that Phoenix could take the water up there and we could have the desalination water, whatever.
You could do it a lot of different ways. The only problem is when you put desalination in a river, if you don't blend it with the water that's got the organics and everything in it, then you start killing your environment because water's too clean.
Yeah.
So you have to have that ecological balance.
Yeah, I don't want it too clean.
You're not a fish.
Oh, okay.
You don't eat the little things floating around in the water.
Yeah.
Or try to hide. in
But our
bushes.
our ag still uses a ton of water,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I just
But
we
also
don't want to do
feed-
anything to hurt it. We want to support it.
Correct, because we feed the whole country and
Right,
Canada. I
right.
mean, it's water that's used
And-
to its highest productivity.
It's necessary, but when they're in Phoenix and want to build a new golf course,
Oh my goodness.
you may not think about it being necessary. Well, we'll just import our vegetables.
Yeah. Well, then
Yeah.
let's talk about national security.
Right.
If we go to war and we're getting all our vegetables from somebody, be prepared not to have those vegetables for the
Right.
duration of that war. That's not a good plan.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Smucker's Park.
Yes.
I hate Smucker's Park.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you hate Smucker's Park.
No, well, I loved Smucker's Park when it had trees
Mhm.
and all that, but this project that's going on, and I know it's with the county,
Flood control district,
the county flood district is funding it, but who's running the project?
County Flood Control District.
Well, let's blame them.
So we've worked really hard with them, and if you go out there today, you should see 48-inch box trees being planted.
Okay.
outside the park.
Well, and has it ever been complete as far as its flood issues?
No. So what's ended up happening is the flood control district reevaluated the criteria for the park because of all these construction issues. And so the system's going to change a bit. This is going to be a smaller basin. It's still going to be a basin, and there's still work that they're going to have to get done. But they're working right now to try to make sure they get everything that's in the park part done so that the park can be reopened fully.
Okay. It's been shut for years.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how long, but it's been a while.
It's been a couple of years.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. But the counties, there's a lot, and I'm not going to speak for them, but there's a lot when
we just talk about them.
Not going to do that either, because it's a difficult project. Anytime you try to insert something that major in the middle of the city, it's not an easy project. You've got sewer mains, not just like the little 8-inch sewer line that goes down your street.
Yeah.
These are 30-inch plus sewer mains.
But somebody had to know that going in.
I mean, they do know that going in, and things happen.
Okay.
I don't. Have you built anything?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know that
I had an
things
erector
happen.
set as a kid.
Knocking out a wall. Like, I didn't know that pipe was there. Now you
Yeah.
gotta rework the pipe. There's things like that, and it's the flood control district. It is their project because if you look at your tax bill,
I know.
it's right there, flood control district. And so I get asked that question all the time. How come the city just doesn't do it? Well, because you pay taxes for this.
I was thinking that you guys ran the project, but they funded it. But no, they ran the project.
They ran the project.
You should have run it.
Well, it still would have had some
Hiccups.
Okay. I'm not going to sit here and wasn't involved day to day to know enough to say, yeah, they misstepped here, they misstepped there. There's construction projects that large are very complicated.
Yeah.
Organisms almost. They have a life of their own. So I'm not here to say one way or the other who mismanaged it. I'm more here. Let's get that park open.
Fixed.
Yeah, let's get it.
Did they come to City of Yuma for input in the project? Or
Yes. So the project took 20 some years to get
Really?
to construction.
I was on the board of supervisors when it was approved, but it had been on the books for 20 years before that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It took forever.
It took forever because again, it's a pretty
It changed.
significant. It did change a
It
lot.
was going to be a pond even. It's going to be open to the public, and
Which-
now it's not.
I don't know where that pond idea came from because you can't store water in a basin that already has water in it. So I'm not sure where that came from because that would not be a flood control district.
That was
funded.
part of the discussion. It was going to be a pond even. I'm like, wow, we could fish and everything.
Well, it would be a pond when it's full of rain. So it's a long time coming. And so it's frustrating. No doubt it's frustrating, but it's frustrating for everybody that it is where it is. But I'm confident in the plan the county has moving forward. I'm confident in getting the park back to, it's not going to bring back 80-year-old trees or however long those ficus trees were. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it is going to get back to a great regional park.
So you're going to plant trees that are shorter than me.
No, I specifically said I don't want sticks. If we're because we had this negotiation with the county. I said, we need trees that don't take 10 years to look like a tree.
Right.
And we need the biggest the largest plantable tree we can get.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yeah. We're not going to try to move a 100-year-old oak or something stupid like that.
That'd be another engineering problem.
Right. Yes. But they're out there this week starting to do those installations.
All right.
Did I hear there were changes in the contractor?
Yeah, so the previous
Things like that.
contractor has walked off the job. I don't know exactly what status they left in. So the county is, I think, doing some things with individual little contractors to get us to a certain point, and then I believe the intention is to get just a major contractor to
Because
finish it
that
up.
throws a massive wrench in the works.
Right. Right.
Too.
Oh, they were dormant forever. I saw millions of dollars of equipment sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Forever.
It was, yes.
So see, we're talking to a mayor candidate that already knows everything that's going on, because he's been mayor for 3 terms.
That's the benefit of an incumbent.
Well,
They just keep doing the job.
I think it is. On a personal level, I have flooding at my house.
Okay.
And I talked to Madeline. She got a grant because this thing floods every year. It's just below the hospital.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I can't get out of my driveway when it floods. But she said, "Look, we got a grant. We're updating the whole thing, and it's supposed to have started by now." I thought. I'm sure you don't know about that one
Actually, I
specifically.
do.
You do?
There's a series of pump stations that are going to be installed
Okay.
to pump the water. The basin by the county building,
Right.
next to
By Walmart, all that stuff,
that has an outflow, but that'll be where all those stormwater gets pumped.
which it does now, but apparently the pipes are too small. The
Yes.
pumps can't handle it.
Correct.
They
Correct.
get clogged and don't work.
Right. This is a totally different system. It's 5 different pump stations.
Okay.
So you're going to be able to, you don't have to get the water into one little area or 2 little areas to pump it out. It's going to be pumped out throughout the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think our pump station pumps it to the next pump station.
Yeah.
That pumps it into the.
Right.
I walked in water up to my knees, walking around trying, talking to people. How's this thing work?
Well, it doesn't right now.
Yes. And so those issues are similar to what we're trying to solve up on the Mesa,
Right.
with the Smucker Park Basin.
Okay.
There's neighborhoods there that
Well, I knew Smucker Park didn't affect us at all. It's just
No.
totally different. It's
Correct.
on the other side of the canal.
Right.
And all that. But I understand the funding was in. So I told my neighbors, look, I talked to Madeline Coyle, who helped write the grant, got the money. It's going to do. Oh, they're just lying to you, Russ. They won't do anything.
I know.
I said, I don't believe that. I believe Madeline, and I think the mayor, they'll all work for me. I've never called you over it.
No,
but
you haven't, but
I knew it was on the works.
it's in the works. And, again,
It's going to happen
government.
before the spaceport.
Oh, yes. Yes, that will happen before the spaceport.
Wow.
It should
a
happen.
definitive answer from a politician.
Yeah.
Wow.
It should happen.
Yeah.
It should happen relatively quick as far as government operates. It's on the short list. Let's
Well, I
say.
know the grant's already been approved and all
Yes,
that kind of stuff.
yes.
I was thinking, unless you took it for Smucker's Park, it's
No, because again, that's flood control district funding.
all right.
There's not even a chance that would happen.
A lot of people don't know. Now, that's also flood control that normally takes care of that, but this came in through a grant that works differently.
Yeah, so there is kind of a fuzzy line between flood control projects and city projects that have drainage in them.
Okay.
Flood control is supposed to be very regional. Generally thought of outside municipal areas, but that's not the case because
Can't.
I
They
still
pay
pay.
taxes too.
you're right. But bigger projects.
Right.
Things like that neighborhood, because it was a grant and it's truly just one neighborhood.
Right.
The decision was to try to keep it in the
It's
city
mostly
center.
my house, though.
Is it? That's it. So what you do is you open up the clean out in front of your house and you don't have any more problems. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it doesn't affect every street, but
Right, but it affects quite a few.
yeah,
Quite a
it's,
few
it's
neighborhoods.
probably 30% it affects.
And to be fair, the flood control district, they got the whole county
Right.
to address.
They do.
And there's a lot that needs to get addressed. So
But we don't really care about San Luis.
well,
really.
we do. We care about them all. We need to have
That's- yeah, you are.
vibrant communities throughout the county. Because let's face it, where you work, where you go to school, all that, you don't decide, I'm not going to work there because that's in a different city.
Right.
I want to only work in my own city. You go where the good job is for you. The housing is a decision that you make because of how you can fund and choose to live in different neighborhoods, and each city's got its own quality of life. And I'm just a super huge fan of Yuma, so this is where I'm living and working.
I'm with you. Now, Amazon came to town, but you never gave me a heads up, told me they were coming. You kept it like it was some kind of secret.
Well, it always is at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
It always is at the beginning. That happened fast, and they got open fast.
I was just thinking the construction went super fast. I don't know how long the deal was.
It wasn't.
To put together.
You should get them to do Smucker's Park.
Get them to do Smucker's Park. It took me 6 months to get them to do a ribbon cutting. They were open and operating.
They didn't even care about that.
And well, just think about it. This is I don't know, remember 50,000 square foot facility or something of that.
Yeah, it's big.
Sounds pretty big.
Yeah,
but not to Amazon.
No.
They open up one of these a week.
Yeah.
Really?
When you do the 303 up on the west side of Phoenix, they've got these massive distribution hubs for everybody, Amazon included.
And they try to do more of their own deliveries.
Yeah. So what's interesting, the project changed from when they brought it to me originally to when they opened. Originally, it was just going to be, hey, we're taking things off this truck and we're putting on this delivery truck.
Yeah.
That was the full project. Well, when I did my first tour a couple months ago, they were talking about the fulfillment center, where you can get things within a day. They've actually implemented some of that at that facility.
So there'll be some hot items in locally
that they keep on site.
Right.
Wow.
And so it's not going to be like Vegas and Phoenix, but it's a step in that direction. And Amazon recognized the market here could support that.
Right.
And so that's just a great forward-facing, well-known international company that's invested in and has doubled down in our community, and I think that's a great story for us.
Yeah,
we got the contract working with them on their fixing their vehicles.
Oh wow,
which is nice. There was a learning curve because everything's so new. Like who authorizes, and who do I just and Chris Moorhead spent some time on the phone, finally got work, and now he's like, they're great.
Yeah,
working with them, good.
On
So what we want to, when we get the truck in, get it fixed and get it out, not spend days discussing on should we fix it or should we not fix it.
Right. And they need that truck.
They need it.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't own it.
Right. Well, they run them two routes a day, I think, right now.
Yeah.
With the potential of a third when it gets busy enough. So they're moving they're doing quite well, actually.
Yeah.
I've not been to the plant, but I need to go take a tour.
It's interesting, and I know the rumor is it's all automated and there's robots.
Is it?
No.
Oh shoot, that's too bad. I would have liked it more.
There's people.
It's people. It's people doing. There's conveyors, right?
Yeah.
We've had conveyors in manufacturing for.
That's not a new intervention.
No. But they actually made me during the ribbon cutting ceremony and the tour. They made me do some of the processing. I couldn't leave until I got a whole carton done. So there's definitely jobs there. I think they're flex, and I think they're more part-time than full-time, but I can't tell a company how to run it.
Edward's helping you with the
is there another t-shirt?
No.
Okay.
He has no t-shirt for you.
Okay.
But he said that the international airspace starts at 100 kilometers, which is 62 miles above sea level.
Thank you.
So there you go. It's 100 kilometers, 62 miles.
62 miles.
Yeah. In case you were interested.
A rocket's going to cover that.
Anybody corrected you on these satellites? There's 15,000 artificial satellites circling the Earth.
Thank you.
With most residing in low orbit.
Yes.
LEO, low orbit. And satellites circling Earth are changing the skies in various ways.
Yeah.
Well, I would understand that.
Yeah.
And if you provide the means to launch over an undeveloped lockdown area, people will line up to put a Democrat governor. And Doug keep Hobbs state EPA out of it.
Actually, right now, Hobbs appointed me to the Arizona Space Commission.
What?
Yes.
Really?
So she actually the state legislature and her reinvigorated the Space Commission that used to exist in the early 2000s.
Now he's asking some maybe some secret questions. I don't know.
Okay.
He's involved with SpaceX.
I've heard that.
So
yes.
Do they have any idea what the max thrust will be capped at?
I'm sure they do.
Oh, they do.
I'm not the rocket scientist. Yes.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah, well, it's yes, we've got the people that have that.
I mean, maybe Edward would want to launch something.
Well, let's talk. And yeah, let's
Yeah, he's threatened to send me to the moon a few times. So.
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind next time Edward's in town to sit down and go over the particulars with him. So
he might want to come look at it.
He might have some interest in what we're doing.
You never know what he's involved in.
Right. Or maybe he's got the right partners, because there will not be a City of Yuma Space Department. There's no Yuma NASA. It will not be there. This is going to be a publicly owned but privately ran facility.
Well, that's unfortunate, because I was getting ready to put in my application. I guess that one's off the table.
Yeah. No, we're not building a centrifugal testing chamber for anyone to get in and take a ride. You have to go. Still have to go to the
we've
fair.
had NASA in town. They've done parachutes and stuff over at YPG.
NASA's involvement in Yuma goes back decades.
Yeah.
They the first lunar rover was developed here.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm not on his list to be sent to space, but his brother-in-law is. So
still not in Yuma. It's still not Yuma. I don't care who it is. Still not Yuma. So, and then the other element that we're just beginning the conversations on is the Space Force, because they have a directive. Well, obviously to engage in that arena, but if you couple the military assets that already exist here in Yuma,
yeah,
and then
between YPG and
correct, and then this ability to launch satellites, they're very, very interested in seeing how this
that would be
work
awesome.
out. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of opportunity. It isn't just one company we're building for or pursuing. It's an industry, public and private,
and it's not just opening a door, it's opening the whole side of a building, saying
correct,
come on in, let's do all kinds of crazy things.
This is generational change. If we can get this to take root and all, and I'm not guaranteeing anybody anything, right? I mean, I not in that.
Well, you're a politician. You can't.
Is this? I just guaranteed you'd have your pumps in before we launch our first rocket.
Well, that is a fact.
Yeah, so
said it.
Mark it down. But I mean, just to be upfront and transparent, this is not 100% guaranteed.
A lot of moving parts to make the deal happen.
But there's a lot of great things that are going in that direction, and it's, to me, worth pursuing.
So what other secret movements are you making?
Well, actually, I got to go to my own meeting here.
All right,
in a minute,
go.
But secret movements I'm making.
Wait, are there any businesses looking that are scouting that are looking? We got any new projects?
There always are coming.
Okay.
There isn't anything yet I can
talk
about. We're waiting on one announcement that they've already started construction, and it's one of the worst kept secrents.
So, but you can't announce it. Don't
I can't.
You do it.
I can't do it.
No. You've probably signed agreements, but
well, I don't. But there's if I tell you, if I tell you
everybody.
his secret,
yeah,
then he doesn't tell me his secret next time, and I need help, right? I mean, so there's this professional understanding that we want to make things business friendly as possible.
I'll get it from the grapevine.
But and that'll happen. Fully understand that. And when things are releasable, I push to get them out as fast as we can get them out.
Right.
But business doesn't operate like government with things.
They need to get things done. Yeah.
They need to get things done.
Well, if you need to go,
I do actually.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Coming in anytime you need harassment.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you guys.
All right.
I'm going to unplug you from the whole internet.
Yeah. Don't kick the wires out. We're under construction.
Thank you guys.
Take care, buddy.
It was nice to have the mayor in.
Yeah. It's always fun talking to him.
Oh yeah. And he had answers.
Yeah.
Which is good. And I'm glad my neighborhood's getting taken care of.
He's on top of things. You were asking, except for the technical, rocket science stuff, which nobody expected him to know.
Well,
he was on top of what was going on and the things happening. And
it's nice when he tells the truth, though. If he doesn't know, he just tells you.
Yeah.
He doesn't make stuff up.
Right.
No, it's been a blessing to have him on for 3 terms. I mean, I don't know if everybody remembers what it's like to have a mayor that's out of touch. It's painful.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It's painful.
I've always been county, so you city people, you do what you want to do. But
yeah. The Mexican Space Agency. I don't know. AM. I don't know. we have that? New Jersey Governor Cheryl. I don't know much about Mickey Cheryl, but I've been reading her in the news a lot.
Never heard of her.
She just signed another bill. I mean, she's been doing some bonehead stuff. She's about as progressive as anybody. That's going to bar ICE agents from wearing mask coverings.
Good luck with
Face.
that.
Well, it's just a hassle.
Right.
I mean, to have to go through it.
But the good news is that that means local police will have to be there.
Well, that's not the case. That's not the case because
Well,
they're a sanctuary city. They won't help.
Yeah,
They're not
but
gonna be
in
there.
order to catch ICE agents, not
Oh,
wearing masks,
they have to
the
send them
police
into
officers
arrest.
will have to be there.
To send them into arrest. She was only sworn into January. As a moderate. She's not a moderate. The mask restriction is part of an effort to ensure safety of the residents of the Garden State.
Well, that's what the
Says-
ICE agents are trying to do.
Well, that's what they say, and I agree with them. She says, I can't believe we have to say this, but the United States of America, we're not going to tolerate mask roving militias pretending to be well-trained law enforcement. It's just outrageous. They're a governor in our country.
Right.
She said it will protect people's privacy and their rights, strengthen trust between law enforcement and our communities. Not only do they have to wear masks, they can't hide their identity. They want to know the names so that we can dox them more easily.
Right. Yeah. The people are calling for the maskless ICE agents. I don't think they recognize the power of the social media. A picture goes online. People can, what is it, facial recognition to find out who they are, find out where they live.
Well, they're going to be
everything
attacking
about
their
them.
families and everything else. And these guys are dealing with dangerous criminals.
Exactly. That's why they're wearing the mask. They're not wearing
Right.
the mask to hide their identity from the public. They're hiding themselves from the criminals that want to do harm.
But in cities and in counties where they bring in, what they used to call SWAT teams, I don't know what to call them anymore. Those guys, same thing.
They're always messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to know who those guys are. They don't want you to know.
Right.
I mean, they're dealing with the bad guys.
Yeah. The worst of the worst.
It's not like a patrol guy that's
Yeah,
might run into a bad guy.
And patrol officers, they've got a different mission. They're supposed to put a good face
They're
on
working with the public.
things. Yeah. And
These guys are
de-escalate
working with the
things.
criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just don't understand the mission.
They're not the guys you can see on the streets every day.
Right.
These are the guys that come in when there's heavy work.
Yeah.
And God bless them for doing it because
Yeah.
When they knock on a door, they know the danger.
They're not expecting a polite
No.
invitation in.
No, it's not helping get a cat out of a tree, man. It's not.
Right.
They're a danger. I mean, it's a danger enough to be a police officer, but these guys are after the heart of the hard.
And it just kills me that these governors who are supposed to be watching out for the welfare of people are working against people that are working for the welfare of people. It's just
and the way that Democrats are framing it all right now is that these ICE agents are going out the poor guy down the street that works hard every day and makes a living for his family and he's never done anything wrong.
Right.
It's just not the case.
But and there, in any situation, there's going to be an occasional blip, wrong information or
I guarantee you
that happens. But those are the only ones that are getting the news, and everyone thinks it's widespread and it's all over the place and it's happening all the time, and it's just not.
They're going after rapists, murderers, and granted, if there are other illegal aliens that aren't rapists and aren't murderers that are helping hide the guy, they're all going.
Right. If it's an American citizen that's helping hide the guy, I want him going somewhere too.
But he's not going to be deported.
Right.
It's illegal.
Wouldn't mind it. We put him on the space shuttle and on the launch when the spaceport gets
that's
opened
going to be a
up.
pretty small rocket.
That's okay. Whatever tortures them more.
Take it all.
Yeah. Anyone supporting that kind of activity should be dealt with.
But this new governor, and she's brand new. She's also announced there's going to be a portal on a website that allows residents to upload photos and videos of ICE agents conducting immigration. So she wants their faces,
right,
to put it on a portal to make sure that everyone knows that these guys are ICE agents. And
what I'd really like to see happen is people put the videos and pictures of the ICE agents doing the great jobs that they're doing.
Absolutely. Portals are the people that are
But
breaking
all
the
we're
law.
ever going to
I want to
see,
see portals with the rapists.
yeah, all we're ever going to see is the times when people
Yeah.
escalate it and make it a problem and make
Which
them look.
she's asking residents, if you see an ICE agent in the street, get your phone out. We want to know. They have not been forthcoming. They will pick up people. They will not tell us who they are. They will not tell us if they're here illegal. If they're here legally, they won't check. They'll pick up American citizens. They'll pick up 5-year-old child. We want documentation, and we are going to make sure we get it. So she's going after those criminal ICE agents. And have they picked up citizens? Absolutely.
Yep.
And there's been citizens that refuse to give their identification, and they have to isolate the scene, and they're going to hold them until they find out.
Yep.
Happened to me when I was in a bank robbery. I was in a bank that got robbed. They wouldn't let me go.
Okay.
So I showed them who I was.
Sounds legit.
Same thing. Well,
Yeah.
they don't know who's a criminal, who's not.
But you got, but they gave you the opportunity and you did.
Yeah.
We've got these people that are saying, I'm not going to show you anything.
Well, of course.
Well, you're causing the problem.
They want to make a point. They want to make ICE agent arrested me or something.
Right.
And they don't pick up 5-year-old children. Now they will versus abandoning a child. And they've done that in the past where the child's been abandoned.
I'm sure she's referencing that kid in the blue hat. Yeah. And it just keeps bugging me.
He was abandoned. His dad ran and abandoned the child.
You'd better kill me. You want to take my kid away.
And the ICE agent,
this guy ran away.
So the ICE agents took care of him, made sure that kid was reunited with family members or something.
And I'm sure the kid was scared.
Well,
it was a scary situation.
But he wasn't scared of the ICE agents.
Yeah.
I mean, he was scared of being alone.
Yeah. They show a picture of the kid standing there. Nobody's holding him in place. Nobody's tying, his hands aren't behind his back. He was just standing in a place with an officer right next to him, being kept safe. And they're like, they're given this image that, they grabbed him and threw him in a car. None of that happened. The dad ran away and abandoned his kid. And it just drives me nuts that they're focused. I'm a little upset.
Yeah. She says we've seen people in the streets with masks, no insignia. Maybe they got the day off. So not accountable at all, hiding from the population. Yes. They don't want to be, they go after the bad guys, they're not going to be identified. And then we saw again and again undermining what law enforcement should do to keep people safe. They refuse to do it.
There's different types of law enforcement. This law enforcement is doing the dangerous jobs of going after the dangerous.
They're doing
guys.
what law enforcement does. They're picking up people that broke the law.
Yeah.
And
if you run from the cops,
and they're not only fighting,
they're going to run after you.
They're not only fighting the cartels and fighting the illegals, they're fighting governors for opportunities to make sure that they keep people safe.
Yep.
It's just outrageous.
Well, and after everything that went down in Minnesota, and Minnesota finally said, all right, fine, we're going to cooperate. We're going to let you get them out of our prisons, and we're going to send our police force. And Holman said, all right, great, we're done there. Then we did our job.
Yeah, took them home.
Every governor should see. Oh, the way to get it done nicely and peacefully and effectively
telling
is
them
to cooperate.
Holman kept telling them, I have to have the extra border patrol here,
right,
in order to protect the ICE agents because you won't do it.
Right. They
don't care. And they created terrible scenes, terrible things. 2 people died because of it.
Yep.
And I hold that state accountable.
Yeah.
They say it's ICE that killed them. No, you killed them.
Yeah.
I mean, you created a situation where it was fine to actually interfere.
Right.
With
the police say
create chaos,
the local police
confusion.
Were not cooperating, and the protesters, what do you want to call them, creating extra
chaos
with all the whistling and the yelling,
and created such a fog. Yeah. 2 people died.
Yep.
They should be brought up on charges. We're out of time, man.
We got 2 minutes left.
No, that clock's slow. Chris, thanks so much for coming in.
Right.
Thanks to the mayor.
Yeah, good time. And JR.
Yeah, that's right. It helped us out a lot. And we'll be back tomorrow because it's Friday, AM 560 KBLU. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Mortgage One Studios.
I keep saying on the